Hello? Okay, good. Sorry about that. I needed to turn on the headset. Uh, let's wait until. Okay, let's wait until some people join the chat. Hey, hey, Sammy. I posted the link in Brojo's chat if you want to join. I guess I could always post it in YouTube. See, to let people on if they want, but I don't know. Well, let's just wait until we get a little more. Yes, it's sexy in here and gay. If you want to join. Go ahead. Like I said, the chat, the link is in Brojo's chat. Da, 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 da. And I am waiting until like some more people, join the chat or whatever and talk. Yes, Mac, I did. Feel free to join. I posted it in Brojo's chat. Okay, cool. At least I have some. At least I have someone to bounce ideas off of. Considering this is something that I often wonder about, and by often I mean like every day. It's like, okay, how the fuck do I know what is true? Like, okay, I can sit here examining everything, but that takes too long. So of course there are some pre-subs that we need to quote Steve from Steve's debate today, because he did have a debate with Rob something. I'm forgetting his last name now. But there are certain precepts that you need to accept in order to live in the world. Like you have to presume that the universe exists. That's one. But then afterwards, okay, well, what can I glean from that? It, like, am I real? Which, okay, even if you aren't real, you still feel pain. You're still gonna fucking die. So it's like I guess none of that really matters. The only thing that should matter is determining whether you know something and you can, and you're able to determine the best view of the reality you live in. Because obviously we humans don't get a full picture of reality. Ours is just ours is just a reconstruction. I really love how the way it's put. Like we usually consider hallucinations to be like, bad. Oh, he's hallucinating. But here's the thing: we hallucinate all the time. How we experience reality is a controlled hallucination, right? What I'm experiencing now is controlled, right? I'm sitting here on my desk doing the stream because while I was walking, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just go live and talk about determining what's true or not. Because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of things that happen in the world that may be true, might not be true. Psyops and just making shit up. Governments have definitely done that a lot over the centuries of various civilizations. God, good God, there's like a lot out there. Obviously, I don't know every. I don't know every example. I don't know everything they've done, but historically they have done it. Uh, hmm. I don't know. It's just really fascinating to examine yourself and your beliefs and to figure out which ones are valid and which ones are delusional. But even the delusional ones serve a purpose, right? Like it's just, you know. Hang on, let me look at the chat. Hey, this one guy. Hang on, I'll send it to you on Discord. Wait, aren't you in the happy chat? Talk, aren't you in the happy chat? Or did you leave? Fuck it. I'll just send it to you on Discord. Discord, here I come. There you go. Feel free to join if you want. Oh, well, okay. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. But anyway, as I was gonna say, the human experience is both amazing and terrifying. Just I I get up every day and I just look at the world and I'm like, I feel amazed to be alive. I'm grateful to be alive. Yeah, there are a lot of issues out there. There's a lot of bad stuff that happens. People are always dying. People are killing each other. It's not a nice place to be. I will definitely admit that it's definitely not a nice place to be. It is a lot safer nowadays than it was like shit even 100 years ago, right? But things like crime and all that stuff still exists. I don't think it'll never stop existing as long as humans are around. So that's yay for that. But I don't know. Like, despite everything, despite like where I am, like just being on Section 8 and welfare or whatever, I am grateful for the life I have. Right? Could it be better? Yes, of course, it could be better. But you need to appreciate the life you have. Sammy will join you. Send the link back. Are delusions a part of reality? Yes. Then how do you know that the whole of reality isn't just one delusion? Well, see, that's the thing. If the whole of reality is one delusion, who's having the delusion of reality? Of course, you would say God, which okay, that opens up a whole fucking can of worms. So if it's God, are we part of God's mind? Like, are we just figment of his imagination? Well, I mean, I guess the bad thing is that we kind of would be, right? We would be. I don't know. It's really weird. Uh, some of these philosophical discussions can go in places that are really strange and bizarre and just outright insane. Well, Tog, you suck. Uh, yeah, because you can't join. Uh, hang on. Oh my God! So Osama bin Laden. Oh no, no, actually, I think you'd be Omni Man. Sure, I showed you
Yeah, you said Omni Man the other day. That's more complimentary.
depressed Omni Man. What the fuck? Who are you?
I'm Mac. I'm here to talk about reality with you. But I don't know if I'm real or not, so I could be just a figment of your imagination.
Yeah, but whose imagination?
Yours, I think.
No, 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 no. I'm not a solipsist, so I can't. You can't be a figment of my imagination.
Well, I mean, I can't be.
Yeah, no, because I'm not a solipsist. I don't believe. I don't believe. I don't believe that my mind is the only thing that exists.
Okay,
Simply speaking, obviously.
but do you imagine anything? I mean, maybe you couldn't imagine something as awesome as me, but
I mean, I mean, okay. I think about you, which involves imagination, but you're not. But you're your own person. Like it's. God damn, this is fucking complicated to put into words. Fuck you,
how about
Mac.
this? Does anybody imagine a person like that guy in the Brilliant Mind? You know, like he
You mean a
imagined. Is that
beautiful
the name of that
mind?
movie? Beautiful Mind.
It's
Yeah,
a
Beautiful
beautiful
Mind.
mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I meant. That guy
I
imagined
mean,
a whole bunch of people.
yeah, but the guy was schizophrenic.
I know, but it just proves that you could do that. Like a
Well,
human
yeah,
being could do
obviously, obviously, you could imagine people, characters. If we couldn't do that, we couldn't write books, fiction. You know
that.
what I mean?
I'm not trying to argue for solipsism. That's a dumb dead end argument. I mean,
Yeah.
it's also a bulletproof argument, but I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna
Hey, it's
waste
a
your
dumb
stream on it.
argument, but it's also a bulletproof argument. You make no sense.
It's just not that fun. It's dumb in the sense that like it's not that engaging or interesting. It's like it leads you nowhere in terms of like meaning or value of the experience that you're having. Which obviously you do have that. Yeah, like your experience has value, right? It's not just nothing. It's not just meaningless. So I hope it's not anyway. Mine's not.
Well, like I said
So
before, I don't think it's meaningless. I'm grateful
yeah,
for. I mean, my life could be better. Obviously, I got some health issues to fix,
mm,
and my financial things could be better. But other
sure,
than that,
sure.
you know what I mean. It could be worse. I could
Yeah,
be you.
absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
I know, dude. You don't even know. So I've been thinking a lot. The last couple of days, I've been thinking a lot about something that I used to think about when I was a lot younger, and it applies to what you're discussing, and I'm going to try to articulate it now, if that's okay for with you, because I think it might. I think
Hey,
it
knock
might.
yourself out. This is your stream. I'm just kidding. It's mine. But
It might be more. Yeah, it might be more fun than talking about solipsism. All
yeah,
right, so
okay. To be fair, I was not talking about solipsism before.
I
Okay, I
know.
was just talking about reality, and then solipsism came up, which always seems to come up in these discussions, and the whole brain in the vat thing, which
Right.
honestly, I'd rather talk about us being in a simulation like the Matrix than a brain in the vat, which I guess it's kind of the same thing, but not really. But go ahead.
It's totally the same thing. Anyway, so um, when I was younger, I used to spend a lot of time thinking about like what like the most primitive form of religion could have been, like historically, like they say that I think archaeologists say that when they find like a Neolithic tribe that buried their dead, they say, here's an example of very primitive religious thought, or evidence of very primitive religious thought, because they at least thought that
You want to know
there was
something
something
interesting? You want to know something interesting about that? If I remember correctly, it was actually Neanderthals. Yeah, Neanderthals that buried their dead first.
oh,
Well, not first, but
yeah,
the Neanderthals were shown as as being the hominid that buried their dead. Like I'm sure other hominids did the same thing, but the
yeah, yeah.
behavior was seen in the Neanderthals first, if I remember correctly.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But either way, and maybe that meant they had religious ideas. Maybe it didn't mean that. I don't know. But at some point, what we would understand as a religious idea started happening in hominids, right? And so I think it's a cool thought experiment to try to put yourself in the place of one of those early hominids, and kind of think about what that even would be. And what I've come up with is, okay, so first of all, uh, Homo sapiens and maybe Neanderthals or whatever modern hominids are one of the things that um, that sets us apart is that you know
Hello,
we're
Pixie.
hunting. Hey, Pixie, is Pixie out there?
Yes, she is.
I'm on my phone, so I gotta flip in between the chat and stuff. But anyway, good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so hunting and tracking, right? And the developing the skills that allow you to hunt and track basically also develop the skills for you to think in terms of um, abstractions. Because in order to look at a footprint of your prey,
You're
say,
welcome,
and to
Sammy.
say, hey, Sammy, and to develop from that footprint an idea of how far away the prey is, what the prey is,
Hey,
what
Mac, you're
size it
being
was.
tackled. You're being tackled by a dwarf. or pixie, I should
Yay!
say.
I'm gonna lose my train of thought if you keep interrupting me.
Sorry.
I'm just saying. It's okay. So, because of the necessity of abstraction of thought involved in hunting and tracking, um, I think that like I think that would have also allowed us to, or them, to apply that same kind of abstraction to pretty much anything around them. And so here's my scenario. You're a primitive hominid, and you've done your hunting. You've got a good store of food stored up and stuff, and you're relaxing because hunter gatherer societies spend a lot less time uh, working than modern societies. So you work until you get some food, and then you get to chillax for a while. Um, but so you're chillaxing by your fire, whatever, and you're in a new campground. And in this campground, you're close to a river, and you notice that the soil clumps together in your hand, and it stays clumped together. And maybe you even notice that a couple of those clumps that went into the fire hardened and became this interesting material. And you've found clay. And do you sit there and do you think I think you wouldn't be able to stop yourself from thinking the question of why is this different than the other soil that I was just around, and also where did this come from? Like, how did this become
And you're
what it
talking
is
about
now?
curiosity. You're talking about curiosity, which I love that you bring. Which I love that you brought it up without bringing it up because okay, all creatures have a form of curiosity about their environment in order for them to seek out food and everything else. Otherwise, they couldn't survive, right?
Right,
Now, the question has always been how how is it that humanity has that we as a species got to where we are now, right? And this is the okay. Look, I'm gonna say the curiosity gene, but obviously there's more genes involved with curiosity, so bear with me.
it's almost like an ability. It's an evolved
well,
ability
yeah,
to be curious.
exactly. Yes, exactly. It is an evolved ability. It's like it's think about it. Think about it in the computer terms. It's like an app that installed itself into our brain and helped us
Yeah,
evolve over time.
yeah,
And it's interesting. There's this book called The
cats have it too.
Curiosity. Can I talk, please? There's this book called The Curiosity Gene that actually explores where curiosity comes from, and what the book tries to argue is that curiosity arose out of tribal conflict. Now you could say, well, okay, other species conflict have conflict as well. Why, why didn't they become the dominant species of the earth? Next to the question, it also depends. It also depends on how many neurons the brain has. Which okay, but then you can ask, okay, the elephant has 256 billion neurons. Why aren't they ruling the earth? Next to the question again. It's just God, I wish really, 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 you need to read that book, The Curiosity Gene.
I would like to read. That sounds interesting.
Yes. Sorry,
I
I'm
think it's
talking.
possible that elephants are ruling the earth. I don't know.
Well,
How do we know? I don't know.
well an
They could
elephant?
be in
Are
charge.
you Babar? Are you Babar the elephant? Which honestly, that elephant was always, I always loved that show, right? Babar the elephant,
Yeah.
so
I didn't
adorable.
know there was a show. I
You
just
didn't
had the
know there was a
books.
show? What the fuck?
When I was a kid, they had these things called books.
What you talking? I know bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, there was a Bad Bar show. It was really dark. It was
Wasn't
really dark.
Babar problematic? Wasn't it
Well,
like racist or something?
everything is problematic. Everything was problematic in the fucking 90s. Come on,
Not
Jesus.
Polly Shore.
In the 80s and 90s, it was definitely problematic over there. Hey,
All right, but
Brojo.
back to reality. Up there goes gravity. Up there goes rabbity. Choke.
What the fuck? What are you, Eminem?
No.
Okay, Sammy, sorry, you're being rude. Like you haven't really talked since you got here.
Yeah, Sammy, take a turn. Make one of those cool noises like the guy in Police Academy used to do.
That's racist.
He was black, but I don't know why it would be racist. Hey, Brojo,
Exactly. Because he was black.
is he still with us? Do we have to speak of him in the past tense? That guy
I
was
don't know.
awesome.
He was. Yes, I love that guy. I don't know. I don't know who decided. I don't know who decided that that character had to be that way. But I'm glad they did. Like, woo!
Hello,
Yeah,
testing.
Yes,
there he
finally
is.
you're here.
Oh,
Finally.
I thought yous were being rude, but then I'm like, no, Mac wouldn't just talk over me. It's not like that. It's got to be audio. Okay. Oh my god, I've been speaking this whole stream,
No
or the whole
way.
time I've been here. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to bring it back full circle. So,
Wait, hold
with
on.
what you said, Midnight, and then like take what you were saying about awareness and wondering about the first religions and that, chuck in that curiosity gene, and then add in our evolving and emerging level of awareness. And I think it was as soon as we started to have awareness of entities outside of ourselves that we started to, it's that old, why is the bush rustling?
I mean, okay. To
I'm
be
just going to
fair,
assume that it's a tiger, so
well,
I don't get eaten. I'm going to stay away.
I mean,
You
to be
know, we
fair,
start sort of applying entities to things that we can't explain.
right, but
Yeah.
to be fair, all all organisms have that. All organisms have a sense of the other outside itself. That it wasn't unique to humans, unless I
No, but
misunderstood you.
Not
but
like
see,
paramecium and stuff.
no, but see, this is what I always say. We don't actually know exactly what is unique to humans. We assume
Exactly. Yes.
a lot of things are unique to humans, but it wasn't that long ago that we said that animals don't have emotions, right?
Right, that's
Little
true.
did we know that not only do they have emotions, but animals like the orca have entire sections of their brain dedicated to emotion and family that
Wow.
not even humans have, right? Like this immense level of it. We thought our ability to communicate, we thought family units, we thought using tools, all of these things are wrong. And I've had this conversation before, and I have been unpersuaded that my answer is wrong. It could be wrong, and I am open to it being wrong. But as far as I can tell, the one thing that we seem to have that is unique, right?
Bitcoin.
Is the collective
No.
no, it's
No.
it's it's the collective ability to believe in fiction, to imagine something
Mm.
outside of your reality and then to make it real. That seems to be the one thing unique in humans.
Huh.
I mean, I
I don't
don't.
know. Have you
I'm
ever
not
seen a
sure I
cat?
fully. Well, yeah. I'm
No,
not sure.
no, I mean, think about it. I mean, even in day-to-day use things, right? I'm not even talking about fiction like Santa Claus or God or religion, right? But I'm talking like even in day-to-day things. If I give a monkey a banana, he may give me a coconut. If I give him a piece of paper, he may throw the coconut at my head. I don't know. What's he going to do with the paper, right?
Mm.
Like, but we go trade we trade this paper for everything. Why? Because we have collectively agreed in the fictional value that this paper represents, right?
I
Oh,
And
mean, I'm not
so
sure
collectively
about.
like
agreed.
They did teach monkeys the value of money, and they used it for prostitution. So
yeah, well, yes, but that's only because that takes a lot of training, right? Like you have to
What?
train them that is
true
you can
story,
get this
actually.
for it.
You,
It's
you,
not something inherent, right? Like you can
I
train
mean,
them
to
to
be
do it.
fair, to be fair,
You can no, what I'm saying is you can train them to do it, you can teach them to do it, but left to their own vices, right? This is not something they will do. They
I
don't.
mean, you have to teach people to do
The
the same thing.
reason they react to it when you teach them is because you have made it a part of their reality, and they're responding to their reality because they are intelligent enough to respond to their
I
reality,
mean, that's
right?
true of humans as well.
But
Like if
no,
you know
what?
if
But
you
humans will make things that don't exist. Airplanes were not part of our reality. We just decided we wanted to fucking fly, right? Like that is the thing that
yes,
separates
yeah,
us.
we yes, but at the same time, I do think that other animals have like a limited ability of that. Like you know what I
They,
mean?
I think they can use tools. See, that's what separates tools from building and believing in fiction, though, right? Because they can use tools. They can make things and make tools from their environment to get what they want. Even birds can do it, right? But like that's a different thing than believing in and constructing something that is wholly outside of your reality.
Brojo's right. It's not inherent. Everybody gets taught the value of money, so
Well,
we get
that
trained. But
was my
Right.
point. Thank
Well,
you.
okay. That's we do get taught the value of money, but I'm saying we're the only species that would come up with this system, right? I think any other species would have a barter system. Like I said, you trade a coconut for a banana. We're the only species that would collectively believe in the fictional value of something enough to institute something like that, because it takes this belief in fiction, in something outside of your reality, that this thing has value, right? To even
yeah, I
build
mean,
the system.
I mean, I see what you're saying for sure. I just,
Or airplanes. Airplanes was a better one, right? Like
Yeah.
humans don't have wings. There was nothing that said humans could fly. We just said, yes, we're going to fucking fly, and we're going to make something that's going to make us fucking fly, right?
I think there's
Like,
something about the size of our society that comes into play with that. I mean, other animals have societies, obviously, but we have like a humongous one,
we
and
didn't,
we're trying to ship things around in it and stuff like that, you know? So transportation obviously was an early focus.
we
Um,
have a huge one now, but we didn't always. I mean,
well, we did
even,
as long as we had money.
but okay, but let's even go back to the tribal times, right? Let's go back to tribal times. Why did somebody open up a hole in the skull to relieve pressure, right? Wholly outside of reality, nothing they'd ever seen. Nothing was going to say that was going to work, but they did it anyway. They
That's an
made
interesting
they made
example.
concoctions, they made medicine,
Sure.
they made hallucinogens, they made rituals, and they
Hmm.
made up stories and legends. I mean, like, why do any of that?
Well, I don't know if you caught what I was saying earlier,
Those are
but
the
I
billion
think
dollar questions, Pixie. I wish we had the answers. It'd be, you know, it'd be nice to talk to animals and be like, hey yo, Big Ben, what are you thinking about? Oh, you know, I'm just thinking about my gorilla family. I really missed.
I mean,
I would love.
making the spear make sense, right? Making the fire make sense. Why make the wheel? Why make the wagon? Why tame animals? Right? Like, because we have this ability
Aliens.
to believe in something that doesn't exist
hmm,
in our reality.
I don't know.
I don't
Like I
know.
don't
I
know that that's
think,
unique
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's unique to like
because
humans.
I think the I think the simplest version of that is just pure abstraction of thought. So my example of tracking is like, and animals do that too, you know? They like see evidence of something that they don't see, but they're able to deduce from the evidence that something else that they haven't apprehended yet exists, like the animal that they're tracking.
Right.
Um,
I'm not saying that the possibility that something exists, right? Or that knowing that things exist that you haven't seen. That's that things exist. I'm saying people will know that something doesn't exist and they will make it exist.
uh,
They will believe in it enough to make it exist, to build it. And that
right.
seems to be unique.
Hmm. But I do think it starts there. Like it starts with the ability to abstract, and then like, you know, the needs of society, not to mention language, you know, starts to lubricate that process, you know, and uh, and you get more motivation and stuff like that. Um, oh, Brojo dropped a link. Science of what separates us from other animals, human imagination, and our ability to share imaginative scenarios with others. From
Fiction,
Slate.com.
our ability to believe and spread fiction, yes, and
Sounds
to even
like Slate
build,
stole your idea.
to even make reality of fiction. Yes.
Mutually agreed upon reality, fictional reality. That's what government is too. Hot take. I got to get going. I'm at work, so I shouldn't have even been
Aw.
doing this 10 minutes. So I know, but I needed some community. Thanks for doing this, Midnight. It's good
I'm
to
so
see you
sad
guys.
now. Bye, Mac.
I'm sorry, I know, but I am on the clock. I've had enough. I had my beer. I had enough of a break. I'm gonna go back up and start counting things
Oh,
and stuff.
Okay.
that was beer. You were having
That
beer.
was a beer.
Oh,
All right. Well, I gotta go read some more soon anyway. But
All right, thanks. Thanks for
Bad
bending
boy,
my
Matt.
mind a little bit. Love you guys.
yes.
Love you.
Oh,
I adore Mac.
Noi, bad boy.
Mac is amazing.
Yes, he is. But this article is.
And you know, another interesting thing that I've thought about. We're talking about to
You're breaking up really bad.
fascinating because it. Oh, hang on, sorry.
Hmm.
There we go. That should have fixed it. But in a sense, we can't actually create anything new. We're always drawing from our imperial knowledge of what we already have. We
Right.
use that and we morph it into fictions and new ways of using existing things.
Right. Well,
but then,
right. But
then,
an airplane
And
is still
that's
a
the
new
part
thing.
that separates us. Exactly. Whereas I think other animals may just by dumb luck stumble upon the fact that I can crack this nut with a rock. It's not they were sitting there by the river one day and thought, I might get a rock and I can do this.
That I
That's
disagree
what
with.
we do.
No, that I
Or
disagree
perhaps
with.
they
because
do.
Birds will do that too. Even birds will do that. They'll like if you put something in like the bottom of a glass with a with a little bit of
Fill the
liquid,
glass up.
they'll
and
fill the
stuff.
glass with pebbles, or they'll go get a stick and bend it, and then they'll like fish it out. Like they'll use tools, right? But the thing is, they bend the stick and pick it out. They don't take the stick and the rock and then make string and build a hammer, right? Like they use what's there. They don't build something not there.
should I
Yeah.
should I just share this article?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. There we go. Is it up? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. What separates us from the animals? Our imaginations and having friends with imaginations. Cute. I don't know. In certain contexts, great apes' abilities are comparable to those of 18 to 24-month-old human children, but after age 2, we've got them. Adapted from The Gap to Science, What Separates Us from Other Animals by Thomas Seldendorf, out now from Basic Books. Ooh, okay. Definitely gonna buy that book. I'm sure Pixie's already running it down. Like many scholars before and since, Bertrand Russell confidently asserts that certain traits, speech, fire, agriculture, writing, tools, and large-scale cooperation set humans apart from animals. Although we appear to excel in many domains, such claims are not typically founded in any thorough comparison. In fact, if you set the bar low, you can conclude that parrots can speak, ants have agriculture, crows have tools, and bees cooperate on a large scale. We need to dig deeper to understand to what we owe our unique success, what separates us from other animals in the domains of language, mental time travel, theory of mind, intelligence, culture, and morality. In each domain, the various non human species have competences, but human ability is special in some respects, and they have much in common. Thoughts? Hello?
Fascinating, but also I think there's a part that we're missing about, for example, with bees, they have something we don't. We don't even completely understand. Like we have a basic understanding. They use chemicals. They also use their vibration and their dance and whatnot. But how hives work, we still struggle to understand. So, these things, we've got this benefit we talk about, but they've got things that I would consider a benefit that we
I I
didn't
don't
evolve to have.
I don't know that it's just a benefit. I mean, yeah, of course it's a benefit, obviously, but I think it's a double-edged sword. I think it's our biggest benefit, but it's also our biggest fault because we are ridiculously self-destructive as a species.
Yes, we are. Is that all? Can I continue to read, or do you have something else?
No, please continue.
Okay. In all six domains, I've repeatedly found two major features that set us apart: our open ended ability to imagine and reflect on different situations, and our deep seated drive to link our scenario building minds together. It seems to be primarily these two attributes that carried our ancestors across the gap, turning animal communication into open ended human language, memory into mental time travel, social cognition into theory of mind, problem solving into abstract reasoning, social traditions into cumulative culture, and empathy into morality. Like other great apes have been shown to have empathy, to have cooperation, to you know to 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 gather in groups and go attack other apes. Oh, I remember.
In no way was he saying they didn't, though. He was saying it's the difference between having empathy and morality, right? Turning empathy into morality. We all have empathy, even the great apes. Other animals have empathy, but turning empathy into morality, just like every every animal group has traditions and customs, but it's the difference between having those traditions and customs and turning that into culture. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, I still wish it would be nice to have the ability to actually talk to animals and see what they, see what they think, see what they see what they say about stuff, because we can't communicate with them. So half the time I feel like we're just guessing. We're not guessing per se, but
Yeah.
I noticed that
Well,
humans have this tendency to put themselves above other animals. Like Christians do this all the time,
yes. I
and I'm
was
not saying,
about.
but yeah, you know what I mean. Christians do it all the time, and
Uh,
I feel like we're kind of doing the same thing in a way.
I was about to
You know what
say
cracks me up
um,
most?
What?
that what I think is that we've mistakenly tried to create a hierarchy where I think it is purely different forms of consciousness or awareness, especially in the higher conscious animals like whales and elephants. I don't know that they're necessarily less intelligent. How could an elephant have the brain the size it does, display the things it does that we relate to? as the creatures we are.
I mean,
What
I'd
is
say,
happening? Like you
well,
said, what are they talking about?
yeah,
Exactly. And maybe they do have the imagination and they simply don't have the ability to build it into reality
Yeah.
because they don't have the other
Have
tools we have, right?
hands.
But that's
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. What seems to be unique is the combination, right? The ability to collectively believe in fiction and to make that fiction into reality.
Exactly. Dolphins
But
could be as intelligent, but they'll never discover fire.
right,
You
they
know?
live
exactly.
underwater. How
So
the
they'll
fuck
never
can
even
they?
have the
But
most basic.
but what
They'll
I
never even have the most basic tools.
But what I find most comical about Christians is that they'll use the Bible in order to justify their dominance as a human, right? They'll say,
Yeah, right.
the Bible gives me authority over all animals. And it cracks me up because a lot of them will choose that word authority because they don't want to use the word that's really there, which is dominion. Because everybody likes authority, but nobody likes that dominion implies responsibility.
Yeah, that's right.
Good point.
And it even specifies in the second story of Eden, because there's two in the Bible, but that
Which is weird,
Adam was
but whatever.
placed here to tend and care for the garden. It specifies
And the animals.
that was
And the animals. Right? Like he didn't have like authority over them. He couldn't run around just like brutalizing all of them. He had dominion. He had to care
Yeah.
and tend them.
And
Yep.
name them for fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck them.
Or at least
Before-
attempt to.
Before Eve, no, sorry. Before Lilith and Eve came along.
On that note, though, I have to go soon.
Oh, come on, Pixie. I mean, actually, no, you know what? That's fine. You can. I know you're going to read or write or whatever you're doing. But you know what? I wonder if we should just finish this. And
Okay,
then
let's finish this.
humans are avid scenario builders. We can tell stories, picture future situations, imagine others' experiences, contemplate potential explanations, plan how to teach, and reflect on moral dilemmas. Nested scenario building refers not to a single ability, but to a complex faculty itself built on a variety of sophisticated components that allow us to simulate and to reflect. A basic capacity to simulate seems to exist in other animals. When rats are in a well-known maze, the sequential firing of so-called place cells in the hippocampus suggests that the rats can cognitively sweep ahead, considering one path and then the other, before making a decision about where to go. Appropriate place cell sequences have also been recorded during sleep and rest, suggesting a neural basis for the learning of the maze layout and its options. The challenges of navigation may well have selected for the fundamentals of mental scene construction. Moreover, great apes have demonstrated several other relative capacities. They can think about hidden movements, learn and interpret human symbols. So we were both right. Because it just says other animals also have that. They also are able to like think and plan ahead and choose one path and the other. Which I think Sammy said the same thing. So yeah, we're both right.
Yeah, that's what I was sort of saying. It's like we all had a piece of the bigger puzzle.
Yeah, but to
And
me, what
that
I just read makes
awareness, the
sense.
emerging awareness, the imagination, the
Yeah,
ability to create fiction, and the curiosity. You put all those together with a big brain and then opposable digits, like, and look how many
see,
species of humanoids
but see, Sammy,
actually.
I think that life, or like a life itself, is able to simulate. To simulate, even single cell amoebas simulate, but their simulations are, for lack of a better term, simpler than though than other organisms who are multicellular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, it makes sense that all living things can do that because we all come from the same, from the same ancestor. So
Yeah.
we all have that
Well,
ability to various degrees.
yeah.
Yay! I'm right. Sorry, I'm a little hyper today. Pixie, you still here?
Yep.
I guess
She's
not.
here.
Oh,
Yeah, she's here. She's nodding
oh, okay. I'm looking at.
enthusiastically.
I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at the reading. Pixie is 1,000,000% correct. Stop being a kiss up, Odin. What the fuck is this?
Love it.
Okay, hold on. Some okay. Solve some problems through mental rather than physical computation. Have complex societal, yeah, sociality. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce that. Sociality in some traditions console each other, recognize themselves in mirrors, and show signs of pretense in play and deception. Great apes have a basic capacity to imagine alternative mental scenarios of the world. In certain contexts, their abilities are comparable to those of 18 to 24-month-old month-old human children. Human development of mental scenarios building explodes after age 2. However, while great apes' capacity does not, children spend a considerable amount of their waking life in fantasy play. They conjure up and untiringly repeat scenarios with pros such as dolls and toys, props, sorry, such as dolls and toys. Thinking in a fundamental way is imagining actions and perceptions. It has been argued that in play children test hypotheses, consider possibilities, and make causal inferences, not entirely unlike adult scientists. God damn it! Hold on. There you go, Odin. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna read it again. Human development of meta scenario building explodes after H2. However, while great apes capabilities not capacities, children spend a considerable amount of their waking life in fantasy play. They conjure up and untiringly. God damn it! Hey, Sammy, would you mind letting people in, considering you have access? Thanks. I just remembered you could do that.
I think
Human.
Sammy left,
Oh,
but I can let people in.
oh. Well, I didn't know you had mods. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you have something to add before I continue reading, Hillary's?
Well, hello.
Hello. Sorry, I really want to finish reading this.
Testing.
You can hear
Okay.
you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you could hear me. Okay, cool.
Okay. Human development of mental scenario building explodes after age 2. However, while great apes' capacities do not, children spend a considerable amount of their waking life in fantasy play. They conjure up and untiringly repeat scenarios with props such as dolls and toys. Thinking in a fundamental way is imagining actions and perceptions, and it has been argued that in play, children test hypotheses, consider probabilities, and make causal inferences, not entirely unlike adult scientists. Play certainly provides opportunity to practice, to build up expectations, and to test them. Children take on roles and act out narratives of what happens in certain situations. Gradually, they learn to deliberately imagine scenarios and their consequences without having to act them out. They learn to simulate mentally. They learn to think. Uh, anything to say, or can I continue?
How long is this?
Continue. But it all sounds great.
Not too long. I'm sure. A lot of it. I'm sure a lot of this is ads and
Okay.
other stuff. Eventually, children can imagine an almost limitless array of events. They begin to deploy counterfactual reasoning in which they construct what did happen with scenarios of what did not happen. They increasingly consider what might happen in the future. A key to our open open-ended generative capacity is our ability to recursively embed one thing in another, as it enables us to combine and recombine basic elements such as people, objects, and actions into novel scenarios. Such nesting is also essential for reflections, our capacity to think about our own thinking. Nested thinking allows us to reason about the mental scenarios we entertain, such as we can draw pictures of ourselves drawing a picture.
Inception.
Ah, that's a mind fuck. We can connect diverse scenarios into larger plots. Narratives provide us with explanations for why things are the way they are, and with opportunities for predicting how they will be. We can compare alternative routes to the future and deliberately select one plan over another, giving us a sense of free will and an edge over creatures with less foresight. We can prepare for what lies ahead and actively shape the future to our own design. However, this capacity also burdens us with the responsibility of getting it right. Yeah, Jesus. I feel called out. Individual simulation is flexible and powerful, but also a risky way of making decisions that can lead us fatally astray. In the heat of Australia's north, a river may appear inviting for a swim until you note a sign about the crocodiles. Individually, we often miscalculate, harbor false expectations, and become confused as to which option to pursue. Nested mental scenario building is not a crystal ball, nor is it a logical supercomputer. Flexible scenario building to really take off as the ultimate survival strategy. It required a second leg to stand on. Our ancestors discovered that they could dramatically improve the accuracy of their mental scenarios by increasingly connecting their minds to others. We give each other advice. For instance, by posting signs about the possible presence of crocodiles, we can broadcast our imaginary play not only throughout our own system, but to others around us. We exchange our ideas and give feedback. We ask others and we inform them, for instance, by recounting what it was like when we were in a similar situation. We take an interest even without knowing whether anything important or useful comes of it. There are individual differences in how much an interest people display in what certain others have to say, but we are generally driven to wire our minds to those around us. Our expectations and plans are subsequently a lot better than they could have been if we didn't listen. It is generally good advice to consider advice, preferably from a variety of sources before making up your own mind. Nested scenario builders can benefit from cooperating with other scenario builders in many other ways. For instance, our audience can be recruited for common goals. Our audience can be recruited for common goals. We can hatch complex plans, divide labor, and pledge cooperation. We can accumulate our achievements and pass them on to the next generation. To ensure all this happens, we appear to be hardwired with an insatiable urge to connect our minds. Primates are social creatures, and evidence that social pressures have driven the evolution of primate intelligence is mounting. Who's unmuted? What is that? What is that? Humans
What are
have
you
I'm,
taken.
hearing?
I mean, I'm unmuted, but I don't know what you're hearing. It's like there's somebody all the way across the house making noise. I can't imagine that's what you're hearing.
I mean, I'm hearing like shuffling. I don't know whether I'm going crazy or somebody is shuffling. I don't know. It's
I don't
anyways,
know. I
whatever.
don't hear anything.
Primates are social creatures, and evidence that social pressures have driven the evolution of primate intelligence is mounting. Humans have taken this sociality to another level. Unlike other primates, children sob to attract attention and sympathy. We ask what's wrong and try to make things better. We look each other in the eye and share what's on our minds and absorb what is on the others. This urge to connect must have been crucial to the establishment of six signs and words that allow us to effectively read others' minds and express our own. As Mako, Tommy, Solo, and colleagues have demonstrated, we make and pursue shared goals. where our closest animal relatives do not. Even 2-year-old children outperform great apes on tasks of social learning, communication, and intention reading. Other animals may give alarm calls and food calls, but otherwise do not show any signs of a drive to share their experience and knowledge with others. Again, in all 6 domains, this cooperative drive is evident and plays a significant role. Language is the primary means by which we exchange our minds. We talk to each other about the past and make plans about the future. We read and tell each other what is on our minds. We reason and solve problems collectively. We build social narratives that explain the world around us. We teach and we learn from each other. And we argue about what is right and what is wrong. These examples serve to remind us how pervasive the urge to connect is. Those who lack this drive have severe social difficulties and may be diagnosed as autistic. Our urge to connect was essential for the creation of the cumulative cultures that shape our minds and endow us with awesome powers. Anything to say while I take a break?
No?
No, but I feel like he's just repeating himself now a lot,
Well,
just in different
yeah,
ways.
but
Yeah, he's going for word count. Yeah,
I don't
you
know,
kinda
but like I
covered
said,
everything already.
I think because of the unique combination, we don't know. You're right. We don't know that imagining fiction is unique. But because of the unique combination to collectively imagine fiction and build fiction into reality, we like to at least imagine that we have some sort of like greater right or authority or something.
3 more paragraphs, by the way.
Okay, I'll hold in for the 3 more paragraphs and then I really am gonna
Okay, it's almost
probably
done
go
anyway.
read my Stephen King stuff.
Our capacity for nested scenario building even allows us, drawing on past experiences, to imagine others' advice internally. Hearing voices is quite normal. Relax. The trouble starts when you attribute these internal voices to external sources. So you might ask yourself what your mother would have said about the situation you find yourself in. You care about whether our parents, friends, heroes, or gods would be proud of what we do, even if they no longer exist or never did. We can consider what others might remember us for. These thoughts can be important drivers motivating us to go beyond satisfying immediate personal self-interests in pursuit of higher notions of honor, valor, and glory. We might aspire to nobility in character and virtue in action. We can invest heavily in unselfish actions such as fighting oppression or pollution, excuse me, or helping a club, a person, or an animal. When we take on a cause, we seem to become part of something bigger, and from such endeavors may derive some of the deepest feeling of meaning. One of the most remarkable things about humans is that we can strive to make some kind of difference. We may deliberately practice random acts of kindness, spread the word, fight injustice, teach the next generation, or start a revolution. Without the urge to connect our minds, such traits could not exist. In sum, nested scenario building and the drive to link our scenario building minds turned ape qualities into human qualities. They created powerful feedback loops that dynamically changed much of the human condition. They carried us where other animals could not go. And thank you, Brojo, for the link. It was definitely eye opening.
I liked it.
Yep. Too bad Sammy left. I guess he had poor internet or had to sleep. Actually, no, he lives in Australia, so it's probably like afternoon over there.
He's probably working or something.
Yeah, true. Oh, this awkward silence.
I'm sorry. I was debating whether I was gonna go write or I was gonna go read. But then I also realized that if I read, I have to set up a live, even if I don't have anybody come, because I gotta
mean,
leave it there for you,
well, I mean,
which I will
what
do.
you
I will do that.
well, I mean, what you could do is just make the stream private and go live. Like no one no one
Oh,
would
yeah.
see it, but it will still record.
And
That's what I
yeah, and
did.
send us links. Just
Yeah.
make it
So
unlisted. Instead of private, make it unlisted. That way we can still
yeah.
join.
I mean, if we want, I don't know, but
Yeah, and writing and sharing your writing would be cool. That way, those of us who like I forget what that's called, creative writing, can learn some tips from you.
yep.
It's
I
really
mean, after
hard for
you.
me to share my writing. Right now, I'm reading a book about writing by one of my favorite authors. So, plus, I'm also trying to write a song right now, which is way different than like my book or my poetry or my short stories or anything like that. So, it's a whole different process. But
Welcome back,
this
Sammy.
book was just a super thoughtful gift that I'm super excited about. And Midnight is also interested in this book. So, I told him I would read it and I would give him links to anything I read part of the book in.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. But I am going to go read before bed. So see you later and thanks for letting me up. Bye.
Yep. No problem. You're always welcome here, of course. See, that's what I was hearing. That's what I was hearing
Oh,
you,
hang on.
Sammy.
I'm not muted, am I?
No, you weren't
I'm,
before. I thought I was going
I'm
nuts.
washing dishes. Sorry.
I'm already questioning my reality with this stream. I don't need to question my sanity.
Yes. Should we talk about gaslighting?
Yes, we should. You know what? That's actually a good point. I'm glad you brought that up because that term has been used a lot in arguments. Like somebody may say something, but they say, "No, you're wrong. Let me explain why." No, you're wrong. Let me explain why. And the other person would accuse, "Well, you're trying to gaslight me." Like, okay, you said something, but I think it's wrong. And I gave you the reason why you're wrong, and
Yeah.
it's up to you. It's up to you whether you want to accept what what I've argued or not. Like,
Exactly. And it by saying you're gaslighting me is implying you know the correct position and that I am trying to deceive you. So at that point, what's the point in the conversation?
yeah. It's a term that gets tossed around a lot willy nilly. Like I think it was tossed around while it was tossed around while Heretic and Hillary's were we're having their grudge match and fucking Brojos the other night or whatever. The Hillary's was totally butthurt. By the way, I was being sarcastic. Uh,
Are you there, Hillary? She's very
yeah, I
quiet.
was like, I mentioned to you, I poked the bear. Like,
He might
okay,
be
well, whatever.
AFK.
Odin,
Good to see you, Odin. I haven't seen you around the traps for a bit. Although I haven't been around. He's AFK too. I'm starting to question my reality, Midnight. Are we really here?
crap. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to read that out loud. Okay, funny, poop sucks. A primate would know what to do next. I am a primate. Like, ugh.
Absolutely fascinating topic, but isn't it?
Yes. Entire books have been written about it. And
Mm.
they haven't scratched the surface. And those volumes those volumes didn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah. And like, let's take it right out to the macro. It's actually sort of my philosophy. I like to see humans as the result of the universe becoming conscious, at least part of the universe, I'm not the whole thing, but a part of the universe becoming conscious and aware enough to then question and ponder itself. So here we're pondering the universe, but we are a part of that
Well,
universe.
yeah, I
So
mean, I
it's
would
like the
say,
universe pondering itself.
well, yeah, but I would say other animals also have consciousness as well, just not to our level. Well, I mean, we did just read that a lot of animals do have the same things we do, such as imagination and simulation, and being able to consider one path or the other. So I guess
Yeah,
you could argue that there's still the universe experiencing itself. Whether they question it or
yeah,
not
in a
is,
different in a
yeah,
different way. Yeah,
yeah. I
and
think I think I think the
it's
universe is experiencing itself in many forms. Like a rock
yeah,
is the universe experiencing itself as a rock. Like, you know what I mean?
mm,
The universe doesn't have to be only experiencing itself through us and through life, right? It's
yeah,
experiencing itself to the stars, to the planets, to just everything. You know what I mean?
yeah. And that's full circle because I
Yeah.
entered this stream. I wrote perhaps existence. Oh, sorry, perhaps experience is the only purpose in our existence.
Well,
For all
yeah. There you
those
go. So,
Christians and theists out there that say there's no purpose, well, every experience I have, isn't that enough purpose to be here just to have the experience? How much more do you want?
oh, they want to feel special. They want to feel special.
Mm,
They want like, I'm special. I'm special. God created me in His own image, and then
yeah,
I'm special. But okay, God kicked you out.
and
God kicked you out of heaven. What the fuck are you doing?
yeah,
Sorry to
and
eat it.
for some childish reason, they don't want the experience to end. So they create this afterlife, and well, I'm going to go on forever.
I mean, to me, you know what? To me, I feel more special. I feel more special, knowing that I came from stardust, that I was created from a
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
I don't know about you,
exactly.
Sammy.
That's my whole point. The fact that you know the this bizarre thing we don't even comprehend just expanded into the universe we see. Then life happened. Who knows how many fucking times? But then life intelligent enough to then realize its place in the universe. It is
Yeah.
there's no God story that is more empowering to me. That makes me feel so incredibly special.
Well, yeah. It's like 4.6 billion years ago, a second generation star, a second generation star exploded and caused a gas cloud that they only took. Here's the craziest shit. Our solar system only took 100 million years to form. That is a short time in the age of the universe. Think about that.
Yeah,
Only a
that's
100 billion years to form. Jesus.
that is phenomenally quick, isn't it?
Yes.
But
It's like,
that's
what
see,
the
that's
fuck?
that's the power of gravity. That flat
Yes.
earthers like to say is so weak because they have no
They
comprehension
just
of
don't
how it
understand.
actually.
Look, look. it's weaker than the other forces, yes, but it's still powerful enough to keep us on our asses. That's what they do not get. They
Exactly.
think it's weak. They think it's just they're fucking stupid. Oh, I hate flat earthers. God.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. You've got to question how many of them are legitimate.
Well, I do know I do know that oh, what the fuck what the fuck was his name? Red's rhetoric, Jeremiah? No, not Jeremiah. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about flat earthers. Jeranism, Jeranism. I think that was the one that Red's rhetoric. I've talked more, and I think he was actually a fucking scammer or something. He didn't really believe in the flat Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow. Yeah.
But like I said, I really don't give a shit about flat earthers. They can just go live on a farm somewhere.
Please. I would love someone with a bit of money to grab a whole bunch of the really bigger name flat earthers and
CGI.
fly them
That's
in,
it.
fly them
That's the
into
plane.
fucking
CGI.
space.
CGI.
Yeah.
CGI.
The windows are just monitors.
Yes.
I always wanted to
Dude.
join the Navy.
Oh
Because
yeah.
if you're in the Navy, like after you sail out 17 miles, I think, that's the Earth's curvature. So, like, you see everything disappear and fall off the edge. So where do they think they are then?
Yeah. Oh no, that's just perspective. Your eyes can only see so far, Hillary.
Yeah.
That's why, like, draw a perspective picture. Everything goes to a point on the horizon. It's
Yeah, but it doesn't
perspective.
drop
It's
off
not the
underneath, though.
curve. Such simple concepts.
Yeah,
Will
quote
be.
unquote simple. Like it's not really simple for them, is it?
No. Well, and I think, see, that's part of it though. Is they understand most of what they're saying. They don't believe. They think it's a lie. That's the problem. They think there's this big fucking worldwide conspiracy.
I mean, to be fair, there is a worldwide conspiracy, but the worldwide conspiracy is to make us believe in conspiracies to, make us waste our time arguing those conspiracy. I call it the
False
conspiracy
flags.
conspiracy. Yes, psyops. The conspiracy conspiracy.
Exactly. Even the ice wall thing, like, could you fly a bunch of them over Antarctica? What would they say?
Okay. I just
Oh,
thought of. Well, I actually just thought of this. Okay, they would never they would never get on a plane. They would never get on a plane to even for that to be a possibility because they'd be afraid they would never be seen again. I just thought of that. Like, there's no fucking way.
Oh yeah.
Do that.
They've got an excuse for planes because planes really do fly as though they're going over a series of flat surfaces.
No. I know, but what I'm saying is that they're so fucking paranoid. They would never accept they would never accept being taken on a plane because because they would be afraid of being made to disappear, essentially killed. Like, that's what I mean. They're that paranoid.
Maybe. I've just heard them come up with all kinds of excuses like, well, they'll never let us actually go to the ice wall. Like the government's shooting down planes or something.
No, you have a good point. It's not actually that far fetched, Midnight, because they would say, "Oh, we'll go up in the."
You broke up, Sammy. Okay, well he's
He's getting
dead.
interference from the ice wall. Something got unplugged because we can barely hear you.
Sammy.
Look, he's someone with the same name.
Okay, well I
He
don't think
can't hear us.
I think he's talking to someone.
No, he's talking to us. It's just that it got unplugged somehow.
They believe that.
Okay, this is awkward. Sammy, you here?
Type it in private
Okay.
chat.
Hey, Hillary, you have mods, right?
Yeah, but I'm playing
I
the
can
game.
see audio, so
Okay,
something's
hold on.
gone wrong.
I'll let
He's back. Sammy's back. I hear him.
Hey, Will.
Sparkle.
Ooh,
Hey,
well, haven't heard
you
his
told me
voice in a while.
you told me to come up with a topic, and I did.
Is it about marrying a man or something fun?
Well, it's about the nature of reality. If you wanna talk about that.
Ew! I don't like that. No, no.
What just happened?
No.
What did I do?
He's throwing a mock fit.
Yeah, Hillary's right. I was just being weird.
Okay, I was like,
Hello, you beautiful gentlemen.
I'm back.
it's good. It's good. It's
Can-
good to
What
now
do
we
you-
can hear you.
can
It's
you
good to
hear
hear your
me?
voice, Will. It's been a while.
Yes, it is.
Hubbles, I love you, man.
I love you too, man. And I
Miss you, dude.
well, before you disappear into the ether again, we should have
I'm not
a talk.
disappearing. I'm not disappearing.
I just mean
That was
tonight.
audio.
At some point,
Oh,
we should talk.
Yes, I'm
All right,
free. So
good, because I don't have a
I'm
lot of money.
Free, baby.
Oh, Dean!
Free and easy.
Yo, 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 yo.
Listen to that. That's got a whole lot of memories tied to it, like massive amounts of weed because of what was it that you used to say? Right? Right?
Right?
You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, right.
Yeah.
I used to take a hit every time you pitch. Now when I hear your voice at all, I'm like, where's my weed? Right?
The inflections in my voice tend to have certain effects on people. It makes them high, it makes them wet. It makes
Oh yeah,
them
if I had a
think
vagina,
about
I'd slide out my
existence.
chair right now.
Yeah, Odin, I love your voice. I want your voice. Can I have it? Let me rip on your vocal cords and wear them or something. Actually, no, I don't think I can wear them. How the fuck? Never mind.
Oh man. Thanks for hosting this, Midnight. I was actually listening for a while, on the outside chat. I was saying a bunch of bullshit, but I did get your link and I was listening. I was just trying to get some other stuff done.
That's fine. But you didn't really laugh at my joke on Discord.
What
Dude,
kind
I
of
didn't
shit is
even see
that?
that.
You gonna get him on the live show and then be like, oh, by the way, that joke I told, I didn't get a single fucking laugh. What's up?
Well, I didn't. I thought it was funny.
So I did laugh. It's just that I was doing something when I read it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But nah, the conversations are very interesting that you had today. I do think that the topic or the title of the video, Can We Determine the Nature of Reality? I think eventually we will. Eventually.
Interesting.
I don't think we can now because I think we have to understand it from two perspectives, right? I think from the perspective of science, right, understanding the how things work, um, and the why things are the way they are from philosophy. I think once both those schools kind of come together, we can get a pretty good
I
understanding eventually.
I agree. I do agree with that, but I do also think the why can also be answered by science. Okay, how do cells do what they do? X, Y, and Z. Why do they do it? Like, you know what I mean? The how and the why is also part of science. I think, if that makes sense.
And just to push back a little bit, because I'm probably a bit simple to do this big brain stuff, but I don't know that we like there's fundamental things like is it possible for us to even understand, for example, the expansion of the universe, or prior to that Planck second or whatever it is that we know, we don't, and then we don't know what happened before that. Our physics and our maths can't explain it because it all breaks down. Is it?
Hmm.
I don't know that we ever will actually know the most fundamental part of existence. I think 99.9%, yeah, eventually, but will we ever be able to see back?
I don't think we need to see that far back. I think we just need to kind of see what we have access to now. Because I think the interesting thing, particularly about humans, is that we have the ability to create tools that would allow us to achieve certain goals, right? Like there's a point where we didn't really, for example, we didn't really know about infrared light, right? But eventually we found a method to confirm its existence, right? And tools that we can use to detect it efficiently, right? And now we're able to even, kind of create it ourselves, right?
Yeah. It's, I guess the question is the technological ceiling. Like, if we look at 500 years ago, the technologies that existed compared to now, and then look at the speed, it's sort of exponential, the technological advancement. If we look like that into the future, it we have to eventually figure everything out. But
If we don't
it's
kill
like, is
ourselves.
there a ceiling? Yeah.
See, I think there are two ceilings. Well, I'm not even sure ceilings is right. I think there's two ceilings. One is the one where we, like I said, we don't destroy ourselves, and two, um, being limited to set, I wouldn't necessarily just say standards, but set dogmas to where, let's say, okay, we figured out, you know, the speed of light, right?
Hmm.
Okay, we're not going to look into speed anymore. That's not like a priority for us, right? We're not going to look into teleportation anymore, right? And I think the difference is between now and then is that humans were willing to be more creative, right? When you when you do science, there can be a creative aspect of it, or aka inventing, right? where we're not necessarily just inventing methods, right? We're inventing tools as well. And I feel as if we're not necessarily doing that en masse anymore. And most of our efforts nowadays, a lot of it is focused on weaponry and creating stuff for consumer purposes to make money. I think that's part of the reason. Um, I think once if we can get
Mm.
past those two ceilings, dude, I think we'll probably be able to leave the solar system within the next 200 years, easy.
I'll hold you to that.
If if we don't kill ourselves, and if we kind of make a whole like a global change in mindset, because I
Mm.
think the society, because we already sent out our address in the universe, so whichever society,
Yeah, we are fucked if
Would
you know,
if aliens come and they're fucking hostile. Like we're gonna be the bitch. They're gonna be like, you
would
do not deserve to exist.
would you agree that governments in general around the world, I know that's general because there's a lot of different governments, but do not reflect the true wishes of the societies
Oh,
that they
definitely,
govern?
definitely.
yeah.
Yep.
And would you agree that society is ready for the changes? It is the governments who are not.
Yeah, because people in power
100%.
don't want things to
Yes.
change.
Yeah. So, but then we have people like who are sort of pro-government and whatnot argue that, well, government comes from the people because it's made of humans. So what happens between then you're not a politician and that you're a politician that you, or is it the old adage that only evil people become politicians?
I think it
That's
comes. I think
that's
the
my
use.
conundrum.
I think the use of government, um, kind of change. Like, take for example, right? Kings and queens. A king, back in the day, was the most competent warrior, right? Or the person who could generate the most resources, right? It was grounded in competency. And people assumed, right, just kind of like in the animal kingdom, that if he's competent, his child is going to be competent, right? Hence why that's part of one of the main reasons why women flock
Boy,
to
were they
kings,
wrong.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And the king gets given a lot of power mainly because people want someone to have the ultimate responsibility. And a lot of kings did take up that responsibility, right? Most don't because they are obsessed with what the power can give them, right? Versus what they can
Wo-
do for the people,
right.
right? So it's
And
not.
would you say,
Mhm.
see, and this is where I think you've hit the nail on the head. It sounds to me like kings and leaders and things were created by small societies to protect them or tell them how to protect themselves and build armies to protect the society or defend it and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's the guise that authorities like police and things go under now, serve and protect, but it's always not been about protecting, it's always been about controlling
Yes.
whilst
exactly.
telling us.
The role has changed. It's
Mm.
there. It's kind of like what Pixie said earlier, because a lot of people don't understand how certain verses in the Bible are very profound, right? And a lot of Christians do not understand that as a Christian, as a human, part of your job is to literally be a steward to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Animals and plants alike, literally, right? But you don't see that being practiced because guess what? There is a there is a part of Christianity that exists that allows in practice that allows for selfishness and um, you know the idea that they can be forgiven um, despite their responsibilities. And so they can forego that responsibility and focus on the goal, right? The goal being going to heaven to Sky Daddy, right? Um, without actually putting in the actual work. So I think,
Oh shit! Sorry.
mhm, just real quick, I think that the responsibility, the responsibility of governments or just leadership in general, they don't really care about it that much. I think they care about maintaining power and using whatever the power brings to them. That's what
Yes.
they care about.
Yes. There's another theory that governments come from marauders who used to come like once a season to steal everything or a bunch of what the people had. But then over time, they're like, nah, just like you can domesticate cattle, you can domesticate humans, and then just like mooch up off of them year round. That's
Yep,
how government performed.
yep. Governments are
That
literal
makes a lot
dogmatic
of
organizations.
sense. Like when you think about early communities, there was no leader. It was a village, and everyone just worked
Hmm.
together for the benefit of the village. And all of a sudden, you've got like landowners and that taxing you, but I'll protect you as well.
Right? Like, clearly, the planet Earth was not made for countries to exist. Like, the idea that if someone wants to go, let's say there's a disaster that happens in one location of the planet, right? And the people have no choice but to migrate.
Hmm.
But then there's this invisible border or barrier that they just can't cross because the other people on the other side don't speak the same language or just don't like the way how they look or just have a different culture. Like it's this I think governments reinforce probably the worst parts of humans. The part that makes us want to separate from each other versus accepting each other. Does that make, I don't know if that makes sense. Uh,
Yeah. Halsey's written, greed outshines pure feelings of responsibility.
mhm. Like that's what I'm saying. Like a person like me cannot become a president, right? Because
Obama did.
I will become a tyrant to tyrants. They will assassinate me.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Because
you're
It wouldn't
Batman. How
last
can they
long.
assassinate you? Like you're smarter than they are. You, you got a secret identity. They're never gonna assassinate you. I'm
and
Batman.
especially considering I'm black, that makes it even worse.
Hey, you said it, not me.
you know, I think I think it's I think it's possible for us to get to another level of civilization, but all of these, to be frank, unnecessary divisions that exist between us, they would have to disappear. the divisions have to disappear. We'll have to take collective responsibility versus, investing all of the responsibility and power within a small group or person because we're too fucking lazy to do that.
Yeah.
I
Power
I mean,
means
I
the
would say
ability to
it's
control
more.
outcomes and resources.
I would say it's more complacency than laziness, but I guess the two could be similar or the same thing.
I pitched a book idea to a friend of mine where the humans get invaded and we lose the war. And he was like, "Why the
For
fuck did you
Half-Life
write a
2.
book about that?" And I'm like, "Well, because I think it'll be reflective of reality, right? I think if humans right now were to be invaded by a civilization, let's say they are 30% more advanced than us. I think minimum they'll probably need to be that much more advanced to be able to get to us in the first place, right? But if they have we know the terrain, right? They don't. And so we could use our terrain, right, and our resources to win, but we won't. Mainly because the idea of humans on a global scale working together, right, having a singular interest is near near impossible, even under catastrophic circumstances. There would literally be mass groups of people who would say, despite aliens flying around, destroying their city, the government will tell the people it's the Americans. They're the ones who are, flying these new types of jets. Blame the Americans, and we should fight the Americans. And then they'll attack America, right? Because for whatever reason, they don't think the aliens are aliens, and let's say America is fighting the aliens. So, right? And so now they destroy America, for example. Now they got to deal with the aliens.
So what you're saying is that humanity would lose simply due to the fact that that panic and paranoia was spread throughout countries. That and thus we would never rise up against the aliens. Right,
I think we would
the
lose.
aliens will take over, would take over our planet through paranoia, and just basically just causing panic.
No, I don't even think they even need to go that far. We'll do that job ourselves. Because
Well,
the the difference between the sports team that wins the championship versus the team that don't is typically the team that wins. They typically performed better, requiring more communication, more effort, right? Probably even a little bit more luck. But at the end of the day, the the team that is better typically wins, and being better means working together when it comes to teams. Am I wrong? So if we're not working as a team, as a species, right, even just to maintain the planet, right, and make it even more sustainable, then how do you think we gonna do when it comes to a
well, I
full
mean
scale
that's
alien
well,
invasion?
that's fair. But you said the aliens don't even go that far. We'll do it ourselves. So are you saying the aliens would just sit back and watch until we destroy ourselves, until we weaken ourselves so much that that will be so easy to conquer? It'll be like child's play. Because
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting out of this.
Or they would simply play us off each other.
yep.
I'm actually, I've had this conspiracy theory, hypothesis, whatever the fuck, that that ever since we threw the bombs, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki,
Hmm?
aliens have slowly infiltrated our planet. Aliens are slowly infiltrating our planet to make sure that we do not become a threat to them and others
Yep.
throughout the universe. Because say say you're minding your own business, right? You're an alien, you're in a UFO spaceship, whatever. You're traveling along, and all of a sudden, and all of a sudden, you see, in you, all of a sudden you see two bombs going off on a nearby planet, and you're like, "Holy shit! They've discovered nuclear fusion or fission. We need to stop. We need to make sure these people don't become a threat." Because nuclear weapons are literally planet killers.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
And more to that point, if there are species out there, if life isn't rare, and there are species out there advanced enough to come here, then there are galaxy police, I'm sure.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
galaxy authorities.
Yeah, what you two are describing is called the zoo hypothesis. And it's
Interesting,
exactly
yeah.
that. And it actually goes before the two Japanese bombs. The one at Trinity was the one that got their attention. And then they saw the other two, and they're like, oh, crap, we got to go investigate.
The what Trinity?
The Trinity bomb. It was the very first one.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know. Wow. That's that goes even before mine. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's zoo hypothesis. I like that.
Yeah, man. Shit is crazy.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammal selects do.
That's
Like-
right.
So basically, right, what I had kind of started writing at the time was an alien race came within our solar system, right? They sent what are equivalent to shapeshifters and infiltrated
Exactly,
our
yes.
systems and basically fired off nukes in specific countries, in specific locations, let us go to war, and then they just attack everywhere, every major power. Right, that would be the strategy.
Is that a bestseller yet? Is it out yet?
No,
I need to know.
I mean,
Yeah.
but the point of the book is for the humans to lose, and he's like, people are gonna hate this fucking book. I'm like, well, good. If they hate the book, do better. Because
No,
that's
but I don't
probably gonna
think.
be the
No.
scenario.
Honestly, I don't think they'll hate the book, and here's why. It's how you present it, right? If you present it shitty, people are gonna hate it. They might have issues with it. But if you present it well, like if you actually, like, you know what I mean, that's obviously that's obviously true of every story or everything under the sun. It's how you present it that actually
Yeah.
matters. You know.
It does have to have a hopeful ending, though. Otherwise, they're depressed afterward, and they're like, crap.
Exactly.
I mean,
telling
look,
you, bro.
look.
But
There
are books like this.
well, yeah,
Oh.
exactly. So there's a market for it. Like, not every story has to have a happy ending. Like, in
Well,
fact,
all you need to do-
some of the most happy endings have actually darker implications. Like once you think about it. It may be a happy
All you
ending
need
on
to
the
do
surface,
is
but
add right at the end of your story, Odin, a scene where out of the rubble a human hand punches forth,
Mm-hmm.
and then it goes
Exactly.
to black screen, to be continued.
And
It
then
never
people
make-
are gonna
leave a
be
little
mad
bit
at
of
me
hope.
asking
Never-
me when the sequel's gonna come out, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it
tell
never
them there's
make a
no
sequel
sequel,
again.
bitch.
Yeah. There's no sequel, bitch. Exactly. No, it's not gonna stop people from writing fan fiction about your book.
Probably.
It's always possible.
I think that would be pretty cool.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I meant to be continued, question mark.
Right?
Mm.
Well, that works.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I think we have the capability to do, like, realistically, we really should have fucking flying cars right now and flying hoverboards.
Yeah,
Let's keep it a buck,
realistically. Yeah.
right? Like, we have flying trains, technically,
Yeah, maglevs.
right? Yeah, exactly, right? So it's like, what's preventing us from doing that? It's not like we don't have the resources, right? It's not like we don't have the know-how. The technology is right there. It's simply because there is no interest in moving forward. That is literally the only reason. I think the only organization right now that's, well, not the only one, but one of the only ones that I know about is NASA that's actually making shit that's useful that we can move forward with, like tires. Like, we could literally replace every single tire on the planet and use tires that never wear out, that don't need air, little to no maintenance. Like, they have that. But if they release that to the public, right, guess what's going to happen? Tire companies are either going to bury it or they're going to co-op it and use it as another way to make profit, right? But they'll apply forced obsolescence to it to make it so that you use it a certain amount of time, it breaks,
Yeah.
right? Like, we can literally make lights that never go out.
Yes.
Like, we can power whole cities with solar energy if we wanted to.
Okay.
Mm.
Odin, I have a solution for you. Okay, go back to school, become an engineer, and you build this shit. Because it's never gonna come out unless you build it.
I'll probably get
I think
assassinated.
it's Dubai and some other places actually do have those light bulbs. They have them with LEDs and like really good radiators, and they like will last forever, over
Dude.
100,000 hours.
Have you guys ever seen this this I'm gonna see if I can find it and share it with you guys one of these days. There's this video where they were talking about what if you were to take a certain percentage of the Sahara Desert and just fill it with solar panels.
I just wanted. I just need you to say "fill it" again, but leave the solar panels off. Just say it again the same way you did. Just fill it.
Welcome back, Will.
Fill it.
Fill it,
Oh,
Sparkle. Just
dude.
fill it.
Fill it.
Dude, can
Fill
you
it?
send me that wallpaper, William? That shit looks dope.
I think he means your
this
avatar.
one.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I need? I need you to put your email or whatever in the private chat so I can set up us a
Did you
chat.
generate
All
them with
these years.
AI?
Dude, don't you have the Google Chat thing?
I don't have yours. Yeah, I have the Google Chat thing. How do I get? You're like one of the only people that I know from back in the day that I don't have a direct chat with. It's because you're black. It's because you're black.
I'll send
Jesus
it to you,
Christ.
Will.
I think
Now you go into the
I'm pretty
members
sure I
list and
messaged you
there.
at one point.
You did?
Probably.
No, you
yeah.
didn't. You've never. Oh, come on. This is one of those things that you do. You make it my fault, right?
Nah. And even if I do, I know, if you did, you'll take responsibility and make it right.
Yeah, why are you not in
confidence.
Brojo's happy chat?
I
seems like you
am.
were there. Oh, that doesn't even make sense because you never type anything.
He's also in the Wield, but I'm not sure if you still are.
I never see anything in the happy chat from Odin.
Yeah, he very rarely posts anything.
Okay, so it's not just me. All right, thanks. That's all I
He's in the
need.
member list, though.
What? I mean,
He's in the member list.
I
Just
post
listen to that.
stuff
All
every
right,
now and then. Look, see,
Okay. Okay.
Leod.
I'm gonna click on your name when I find that shit. Manage members.
There you go.
Oh, can I tell everybody what it is?
Sure.
I don't know. That's pretty X-rated. I don't know if I can. How did you use words to make a picture of a dick? That's the weirdest email address I've ever seen. I'm fascinated though. All right. Fantastic. Did you get what I just sent you?
Let me
You have
pull it
to
up here.
yo me back. Oh
Yep,
my god,
I
yeah,
see it.
that really does look like a dick what you sent. I didn't know that's what you were really doing. I just glanced up at something.
It is.
It looks like a dick, only smaller. All right. I'll let you have your stream back there, and we can stop talking about Odine's unit.
No, please, Hugo.
And I'll send you the. I mean, no. I mean, Hillary set the president with that dick pic he's got up there.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Put the little hat on it. The little cowboy hat.
Well, it's already wearing sunglasses. Looks like Ray-Bans.
Yeah. That's right.
It's funny.
Let me be clear.
Yeah, man. I want fucking flying cars and goddamn hoverboards.
Yeah, well, so do I, but, you know, we can't always get what we want.
Right? But to the main thing, I think
They've had
we-
flying cars since the 70s. It's just they're not very practical.
Yes. But I think
And you
the
can get
practicality of it.
a gyrocopter.
Oh
You can
yeah.
own a gyrocopter. It's like a
But you know what,
motorcycle with helicopter blades.
What if? Because so the way how we have those bullet trains, those hovering trains, right? We could literally create a city
Mm-hmm.
with the roads lined with that. Now, of course, there are technical
Sure.
challenges to it, right? But I think that's something that we can do. Like shit, we can probably we literally create elements, new elements. Maybe we can create a metal that hovers whenever you apply electricity
Element
to it.
115. Element 115.
Okay. Element X.
Apparently, it's an element. It's an element in a video game turns people into zombies, but it actually exists. It's just very rare. It's fact, only a few atoms have ever been made in the world, and decay. I think it decays very quickly, but we made it.
Oh, I did not know that thing existed.
I didn't know I existed.
We can confirm you exist.
We can't look directly at you, but we do see the orb of light that is you.
That is you, yes.
Yes.
They have
Shine bright like a diamond.
I engaged a Christian friend the other day, and I told him, dude, you make the creator of the universe look like an idiot. Now, to be fair, he's not a scientific-minded person. He is just a typical nice guy. Stays out of trouble, all that stuff.
Ew!
Right.
I don't like that.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
Crying
That
gold.
hurt. Oh, crying gold. Yeah, never mind.
So basically, I asked him, how do you think souls work? And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, yeah. Do you think God, like, plucks a soul into every human that's born? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, why would he do that?
Yeah, are souls created or where they come from?
So I was like asking those questions, and he he said, "Well, God does everything in the universe." So I kind of kicked him in the shin. I'm like, "Did God do that?"
Wow. I mean, yes. I mean, under his belief, yes, God did that. He did it
Yeah,
through you.
yeah. I was like, okay. I think this is one of those things where you need to sit and think about what you believe. Was the gist of the conversation, right? Because he asked me if I thought about those things, and I'm like, you think I'm going to post a question to you and I've never pondered it, right? So he's like, are you trying to get me to question my faith? And I'm like, dude, your religion is literally based on it. So it's not even about questioning your faith, it's so much what they teach you, not the faith itself, right?
Yeah, it's
So,
not questioning it, it's understanding it.
exactly. Um, but I don't know. I guess to some extent I was somewhat trolling him, but you know, I'm glad that he's actually like, because he never used to read his Bible, and he started reading it. He's probably going to see a lot of things and be mortified because, man, listen, he's one of those do-gooders. That's a correct term? I don't know, man. He 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 works in a damn soup kitchen and volunteers all the time to help people and shit like that. And he's like a soft dude. So, you know, when he sees all the death and all of that stuff happening, when he finally reads the Bible, I'm curious as to how that whole thing is gonna go. It ain't sunshine and rainbows.
It never is.
hmm So the consciousness conversation was something that I wanted to kind of comment on. That was a long ass article, and yes, that dude was repeating himself a lot. If it was a dude that wrote it,
Well,
um,
yeah. Let's just call it a dude. I don't know. I mean, I could check really quick if it puts you at ease.
nah, it doesn't matter.
A dude
Um,
of whichever gender.
God damn.
um, I, I think there are levels.
It was a dude.
Uh, but for all you know, he identifies as a she. So,
Fair enough. But the name is Thomas, so unless,
Hmm.
well, you know what? Just go ahead. I don't want to get into into the trans argument. God damn it.
um, yeah, I think there are just different levels of consciousness, and the levels are determined based on brain capacity and functionality.
Yep.
Like animal brains are they are specifically tailored to do certain things and to manage certain things.
Yes, a lot of animals come out of the womb pre-cooked or pre-packaged. Like for example, aren't there zebras like they can walk like as soon as they come out of the womb, like in 45 minutes.
A lot of them can. A
Giraffes
lot of
yeah.
animals. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, humans don't really have that luxury. Like we're born, and for the better part of like our lives, we're dependent on others. We're weak. We're helpless. We're vulnerable. You know.
Well, think of it. So our superpower
Is our
is
brains? Yes.
our big brains. That is
Exactly.
our superpower. Kind of like a cheetah's superpower is insane, like burst of energy and speed, converting energy into speed, right? Um,
Has anyone ever killed a cheetah?
wait, what?
I'm sure.
Has anyone ever killed a cheetah?
Yeah, I'm sure many people have, but I mean, I don't know any.
It's a
I
weird
just
question.
thought of that. Well, hey, I'm a
Wait,
weirdo.
what?
Fuck off and keep talking. Sorry to interrupt.
um, have you guys heard about the experiment that two doctors did, a husband and wife, where they raised their baby with a chimp?
Yes.
And you know
I
the
have
results
not.
of
Do
that.
tell.
So basically, they decided that they were going to raise the chimp and their baby together, right? And essentially, they thought that the chimp would learn from their baby and become more human-like, right? It went the other way around, and they had to cancel the experiment because their child was um, absorbing the traits of the chimp, the traits and behaviors of the chimp. And that kid had developmental issues. He eventually got quote unquote normalized, but he did have some psychological issues
That is
growing up.
that is very wow. That is very fascinating.
But it's kind of like with Jungle Book, right? And the story that was based off of, where it's literally a kid that was raised by animals in India. And they tried to normalize him. Well, he wasn't a kid when they discovered him. I think he
I
was
think
close
that,
to an adult.
I think there are actual stories of kids actually being raised by animals and then
Yes.
coming back into there you go. Like yeah, that's
Yeah, man. Our brain is our capacity to, we learn super efficiently, and we have the capacity to just create shit out of nothing with what we have, right? And, I think that's our ability. I think that's the difference between us and a lot of animals. I think we have the physical tools that also allow for that. Um, which is like super unfair. um, but I think that's the only real fundamental difference. Having the brain and the capacity to think, not necessarily like just think abstractly, but having the urge to create and having the tools that allow us to do so.
okay, frustrated atheist. Yeah, sure. You were raised by wolves. I'm out as top dog. Sure. I love his first comment. Sounds like a skill issue. I was born with a beard, full-time job, and on child support. What the
Damn.
Yeah, Chuck Norris. My goodness.
I heard that Chuck Norris's chest hairs can cure cancer, but
Jesus
I
Christ.
heard, it's just a rumor.
Can you this is like so fucking far fetched or whatever. Can you imagine if somebody actually believed that and traveled all the way to Chuck Norris' house and plucked some of his chest hair?
But what if someone did that and found out that that's what it actually does?
Well then, Chuck Norris is in trouble because he's gonna have a lot of people come to his house and steal his chest hair. He's
Stealing his
gonna-
chest hair?
Oh yeah, you're like plucking them, just like we need that chest hair. No.
I am working on a little short story about a child who has the ability to heal people. And he lives in a poor country in basically the gutter. And the story is basically about essentially people using him. And
Yep.
his challenge is to get to the point where no one can use him anymore. Like he'll eventually just say, "Fuck people, I'm not gonna heal you."
I mean, honestly, if I had the ability to heal people, I would do it. Like if they say, "How
Yeah.
much do I owe you?" Like, no, fuck you. You don't owe me anything. It would be nice to have money, but I'll find money other way. Like
Fuck
this,
that. Pay
like
me,
this whole.
bitch.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm talking about me personally. If I had the ability to heal, but then of course I would need some compensation for the time and energy it takes. But at the same time, I have a deep desire to help others, sometimes at the expense of myself. So
Yeah,
But
that's
how
why
would
I
you
get paid.
decide who to heal? Because like everyone's going to want to be healed. You have to have
and
some
see,
way of prioritizing.
that's the issue. That's the issue. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you guys like. Let me try that again. I'm pretty sure everyone in here has probably watched the show The 4400.
Sure.
Okay, you remember you remember Sean, right? He had the power to
It's-
heal
It's
people.
been so long, I don't remember very much.
Well, in the original 4400, Sean is one of the abductee that returned, when the
Okay.
show takes place or whatever. He
Right.
has the ability to heal people, right? So, he actually goes with never mind. It's like basically he's a hero. He's a hero who's people abuse his power over time. That's what I'm saying. He's a healer.
The only people I would heal are the people who are sick and cannot afford to get healthy.
You're going to get kidnapped. Some
I
rich
know.
guy's going to kidnap you.
I
Yep.
know. that's the story. So that story that I so whenever I have these stories, I write down these synopsises. Like that's why in that story with that kid, right? He's literally going to be used by everyone, and he's going to have to get to the point where he's gonna have to start doing a lot of unhealing.
What I would do is I'd set up a charity and have like take in money from people, and that way I could hire other people to like prioritize, like kids with different ailments and that don't respond to other treatment. And then that way, because I'm helping so many people, like they would protect me from evil people who would want to kidnap me just for their own use.
The Rue Trinity. I like it, Sammy. Yeah, that's a good. I am gonna make some money from that shit, if anything. right? But my main focus would be to heal poor people.
Mm.
If you're a rich person and you want to be healed, guess what? Fund, fund digging wells in a country that needs it. Fund fucking schools in, countries that need it. You know, the U.S. president is dying from cancer. I'll heal you, Mr. President. But guess what? You're gonna have to do this. Now, sure, you can put a gun to my head, and threaten to fucking murder my family and stuff like that, right? But guess what? Depending on my level of not giving a fuck, you killing me is not going to get you healed. So you might as well just fucking do what I request, right? As long as I'm not asking for you to fucking kill anyone or nothing like that, you can do it. The Russians will probably try to get a hold of you too, Hillary. If
And
you
it's
can heal.
actually funny. If people like that actually exist in today's world, we will never know because they'd be hiding out. They'd be like, I don't want to fucking die. Like, yeah, so we would never know. They'd be out there minding their own business. Like, fuck you. I'm not healing. I don't want to fucking. Nobody has to know about this. Nobody. Yeah.
Or,
So they probably exist.
or they could be stealth healers. They could just like
Yeah.
go through the crowd and notice who needs it and do it without saying anything.
Yeah. Like I would do my absolute best to block my identity. I would have my identity scrubbed from existence and just walk around with a dark mask.
Oh, wait, okay. Hold on. Batman. I actually have a better thing. If the president of the United States wants to be healed, you could say, okay, I will heal you, but I want to be scrubbed from existence. I do not want to appear on anything.
There you go.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I want my own security detail.
You know what? It's funny. You heal the president, and afterwards, change of plans. We had a deal. No, we didn't. Lock him up.
But yeah, I would basically my main focus would just be helping the people who cannot afford it. I'm sorry, if you're rich and you can afford to get fucking chemo, go do your fucking chemo and put in the work and the effort to fight for your goddamn life.
Well, that's why I said I would prioritize kids
Yeah.
that didn't respond to other treatment because, like, there's all kinds of charities that help out kids that can't afford it. But the ones that aren't responding are the ones that would need it the most.
That would need it the most, yeah. Yeah, you could put up a sign and say, I only heal children with diseases that cannot be cured.
Mm.
Adults, fuck you.
Yeah, because basically, like most adults, they've had a chance at life. But kids, it's all potential.
Yep. Your little shitty snotty potentials. And by the way, Hillary's,
Mm-hmm.
the whole chapter of John 10 is super interesting.
Thank you.
But yeah, that's something that I was looking to write, and the other thing that I would do as a parallel to it was another story where there's a person who has the ability to kill people with a touch.
Okay. Odin, I need to ask. Have you been watching My Hero Academia?
Wait, what?
Have you been watching My Hero Academia?
Not recently. I haven't watched that shit in years. I do read the manga. The manga's crazy right now.
Yeah, it is. So you're basically describing Shigaraki.
That's not his. That's not his powers.
No, that's decay. Yes, that's decay. He
Yeah.
can literally decay anything. You said he has the ability to kill people. I thought that's where you were going with. You were going with
No.
decay.
No. I was going with he literally touches you, and your life force disappears.
Oh, that'd be an interesting power. You could either give it or take it.
Right. So the idea is that this person who grows up in a world where people are suffering a lot, and he decides to create a business that helps people die who are suffering.
Oh man, that's interesting. Because there's a concept kind of like that called a sin eater.
Yes, I remember that movie, dude. Heath Ledger starred in that, from what I remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sin Eater, yeah. That was an interesting one. But yeah, it would be kind of like a parallel. Because let's be honest, man, not everyone wants to live.
Yeah, but I do. So, and I'm more important than everybody else who doesn't want to live.
There you go.
If solipsist, you're the only one that matters.
Yeah. No, fuck you, Hillary's. I never called myself a solipsist.
No, I'm just saying.
A narcissist, maybe.
Nah.
I'm sorry, you're not cool enough to be a narcissist.
Oh, I'll take that as a compliment, I guess. Considering nobody likes narcissists.
Yeah, your narcissistic traits are very low.
Right? I probably have more narcissistic traits than you.
Possibly. But they are actually never mind. I'm not gonna go into that. Oh, look who's back, or actually look who's here. It
Back
is the
again.
three-headed. Yes, it is the three-headed
Who's
dog.
back?
Hello.
Hello. I heard we were competing to be the biggest narcissist or something.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the shit that we spoke about, that's what brings you here.
Yeah.
No, that's just what I heard when I was coming in.
Oh man. No, I was talking about book ideas that I had that I was thinking about writing, but somehow the conversation led to narcissism. I don't know, man. I can't imagine Midnight being a narcissist as far as my understanding of it anyways, which is limited. Or a quote unquote undercover narcissist.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is that both my mom, dad, and sister have narcissistic traits. Like I've lived with them long enough to see that, you know, that these are the traits these are the traits they have. Obviously, they're undiagnosed professionally.
Yeah, but this doesn't mean they are narcissists. They might have traits associated with one, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean they are.
You know what? You know what? One of these days, I'm gonna have you meet them.
Oh shit. And I mean, people are like using the word as like a derogatory term nowadays, like as an insult.
Yeah, it's better to say that if somebody has a narcissistic personality disorder, that's the more accepted term when it comes to actually talking about somebody being a narcissist,
Yeah.
narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. That does get overused. Also, as I said, gaslighting gets overused when when we're having a conversation, sharing our opinion. It's like, well, you're wrong about that, and here's why. Stop gaslighting me.
I thought gaslighting was when you fart on a flame or something and it flares up.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first too.
I mean, yeah, sure, why not? So, sir, what brings you here?
I was just sitting down for about an hour, and then you were on.
Oh, well, okay.
Nothing special.
Oh shit, you're not special, bro.
Yeah.
You are the lowest one.
I'm special to me, okay? I'm special to me. Just like you're special to you. Hillary's is special to himself. And Serb thinks he's a god.
Mm.
I don't know, man. John 10, yeah, actually John 10:34, right? That means
Mhm.
Serb is a god.
Yeah, we all are. Know ye not that ye are gods?
Yes.
How do you feel about that, Serb? It's been confirmed.
I think when everyone's something, no one's something.
That doesn't always.
No.
Damn it! I fucking hate it when that when it doesn't. I don't think it always applies.
Yeah, it pretty much does.
If everyone's human, then nobody's human.
Nobody's
Yeah.
human.
There you go. If
Exactly.
everyone's human, then nobody's human. That doesn't
Exactly.
make
There's
sense.
yeah, exactly. There is no human.
I hate
It's just
philosophy at
denying
times.
tautologies. You tautology denier.
I'm not gaslighting you. You were just making things up again. Damn it.
Let's see here. See if I can draw lines here. There is no such thing as a human, because a human is simply a normalized description of some group of biological organisms. None
See,
of which
that's
of
what I
those
mean about being a
organisms.
tautology denier. I mean, that's literally a tautology. You
Oh, yeah.
defined it, and so then you're going to say it doesn't exist.
Well, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist because I defined it. I'm going to say a human doesn't exist because it's a norm. It's a normality, and there is no such thing as something that matches a
Normalized.
norm.
Yeah, you're right. It's an ideal. Yeah, I would agree.
I had to stretch
Ideal
for that
human.
one.
Huh?
I said I had to stretch for that one.
Yeah, that was a hell of a stretch.
Batman is the ideal human. Everyone else is
I mean,
a template.
he is.
But I would actually agree with you, Midnight. I think it only applies in cases of attributes which we would normally consider special.
Yeah. But then, how does that? Because 80% of the population in My Hero Academia has powers, so the other 20% doesn't.
Yeah,
So I guess it doesn't apply then.
Completely incoherent reality. Yeah.
Well, it's a manga, so like it makes sense in the world itself. It's incoherent outside of it, yes, but within itself, it's logically consistent.
The thing is, like, if 80% of the population has powers, you wouldn't say that they're humans with powers.
Yeah, you call them something else.
Yeah, you call them just humans.
Yeah, you just call them humans, and the people without powers, you would call humans without powers.
Yeah, those are known
Call
as
them X-Men.
Those are known as the quirkless. The humans without powers are known as the quirkless.
The quirkless?
Yes. Because in My
Like-
Hero Academia, you want to explain that, bro? Dean, you
So
speak more eloquently.
So basically, in that manga, something happened and humans started to develop powers, aka quirks, right? And eventually it had gotten to the point where most humans ended up having powers. So and the minority switches after a while. So the humans without powers are called quirkless, and the humans with powers are called humans.
Oh, I thought he was saying cork. You mean quirk?
Yeah, quirk.
Yes,
Okay.
Quark. Quark.
I was like, what?
God damn it! Fuck
Quark.
off! I can't speak.
Quirky. Quirky.
So I've got you all fucked up, my friend.
Well, I mean, he's building a tank. Of course, he's gonna be. uh, but no. Also, what I find really depressing about My Hero Academia is that not only are the quirkless bullied for not having any quirks, but there are people who have quirks who go against society, right? Who are bad, who are just considered evil and just not good for society. There are people who have quirks who actually look like animals, right? They're anthropomorph, like you know.
Yeah.
It's a very messed up manga. It's really good. I like it, but holy shit, does it get fucking insane and dark?
To me, I wouldn't say it's a better story of the X-Men, but I think it's a really good story because it's not necessarily like just focused on the struggles of the quirkless, just more so it deals with the responsibility of the people who have quirks and how they,
Yes,
especially
exactly.
powerful ones, and how they go about in society and how they treat others who have quirks, right, that are not desirable or cool or powerful. And they treat them like garbage, which is why you have the villains, right? The only villain who actually didn't get treated like garbage is the main villain, All for One, right?
Yes,
And here, like him, he's just he's just a dick.
that's
From
putting it
a
mildly. Okay, that's putting it mildly.
yeah, like he's just born a dick, and like that's it. But
Yeah,
everyone else
literally.
pretty much kind of, the society kind of just championed certain things that was just detrimental to another section of the society.
Yep. And that is why the League of Nations formed under All for One, of course. But
Mm.
we didn't know that at first. When the series first started. God, it's been a hell of a ride, hasn't it? Like season 7 actually comes out this year. If you didn't notice, Odin.
Yeah, I might start watching the anime again. I just been reading the manga.
Well, yeah, like the manga has gotten fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, especially the part where where All for One just completely rewinds into a fucking egg and disappears. It's like, what the fuck?
Yep.
God damn. All Might comes out in an Iron Man suit. That's fucking awesome.
Right now, if our world gets to the point where people start to get powers, I think reality will probably be more reflective of the boys.
Oh, you mean the TV show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like what are the boys is there? Like
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
you
Like,
motherfuckers are quiet, like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
like two things came to mind before the TV show. The first one was The Boys, as in like, my homies, and the other one was many men have referred to their testicles as the boys.
The boys?
So I was
These
like,
nuts?
I was confused.
The Boys. You know what? Say The Boys TV show to make sure it doesn't happen again. The Boys TV show. Okay.
I don't know, man. I
okay.
wanted to leave him hanging.
Well,
Wink.
God damn it. Who do you think would win, All Might or All Might or Outlander? I personally never watched The Boys. I've heard a lot of stuff about
Dude, really?
Outlander.
Dude.
I gotta watch it one of these days. There's a lot of things I gotta fucking do that I
don't know.
don't do that I should. But who do you
Whoever
think
is
will
smart
win?
enough to not let me trick them into eating plutonium?
What? Anyways, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, The Boys is. I think it will be way more reflective of our world if people got powers in a lot of ways. The way how social media would change, the way how police force will change, the way how governments would operate, corporations. Like, I think they did a really freaking good job kind of depicting how our world would be and how superheroes would be. And I think most superheroes will be dicks. And the ones who aren't, they'll eventually turn into dicks, or other dick superheroes will kill them.
You don't think My Hero Academia did that good too? Or
No.
but like
No, I agree with him. If I had actual superpowers, I would probably spend all of my off time pulling practical jokes.
well, yeah, of course you would.
Exactly. Right? Like
So
if
you
your
would- so you
powers
weren't using it. You wouldn't use those powers to save grannies. Or,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
save
but I'm set on
babies?
my off time. I mean, look, if I have real superpowers, that's my job now. Like, I don't know how it's not my job at that point.
Well, and that's actually what My Hero Academia does show. Like there's something called the pro heroes, right? They get they get paid money, they get paid fame to help others and just do whatever. But the problem with that is that it fucks everything up, right? It just
It's also
God, I
pointless.
wish
The
Like, if
Boys is
everyone has
kind of like that.
superpowers, but if everyone has superpowers, why the fuck why the fuck does everyone need help from other people with superpowers?
Because not all superpowers are useful. I kind of
Yeah,
like
I guess.
see,
Like,
yeah, because like in The Boys, there's a dude with like a dick that is the size of an anaconda,
Jesus fucking
and
Christ!
he
How
could
does he walk
literally
around?
control it as that, right? Like, I'm sure he could use it to save people, but let's be honest, it probably would not be appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't he just win every fight? Like, his tagline is, "This is so big, even saying no homo won't save you."
Right?
God damn.
Yeah, there's a chick that
Oh
can
man,
make people's heads explode by looking at them.
I just thought his superpower is saving kids from wells.
Yeah. Oh.
That would be so messed up.
Wow. Yeah. Grab onto this, but it looks so.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
I'll reel in the rope.
Damn.
It's only wrong if he gets hard.
Oh shit.
Wow.
You're like slingshotting them.
Yeah. Like in the spin-off TV show, which is actually pretty good. I haven't finished watching it. There's a chick who can become very tiny, but how she becomes tiny is whenever she throws up her food.
Oh man, bulimia.
And
You know
when
what?
her only way of getting bigger again is to eat. And yeah, and there's a dude in the freaking show that she likes, that she always wanted to have sex with, and he hits her up and he's like, I want you to become small and give me a body job because his dick is
What?
small. Yes, a body job. Can't be a fucking blow job because she can literally become tiny.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Let's.
That reminds me of a heavy metal magazine comic I saw one time. It was like, well, I won't describe the whole thing, but a guy with a huge member, and he had like 3 women lined up, and he was like spit roasting through all 3 of them.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, nice. I'm sorry, I'm just checking out the images that William sent me.
Mm.
Oh
Any spit
shit,
roasting
William!
involved?
If you are in chat, this Flash and Jesus picture is awesome.
Share it.
Never. It's private.
All right. Whatever.
It's between me and my buddy. But yeah, totally go watch that TV show, Midnight. It is awesome. If you don't have Amazon Prime, I'll send you a link to a site where you can watch it. Just make sure you have your ad block and you'll be fine.
Yep. It's on Amazon, right? Don't worry. I have Amazon Prime.
Okay.
Breathing kind of hard. What are you up to?
I'm fat. Sue me.
Oh, I thought it was Odin.
No, I'm stuffy, so I gotta breathe through my mouth.
I was teasing that you were overly excited by the picture.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, these some really good pictures, man. Oof. Oh
Hang
shit.
on a sec. God damn.
Okay, bro.
Fuck.
Do we want to have this conversation? Because
No, I'm gonna redo this one, and the saying's gonna be, "Guess the race of the car owner."
oh my god,
mean,
you post
And
that,
family
you start
detail.
some shit.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
wait a minute. Hold on a sec. Okay, there's 4 on top, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
7.
6, 7. How in the fuck did she have 11 kids with like 6? God
6
damn.
dads. That's right.
Yeah. God. Wow.
Mhm. It happens, bro.
I wouldn't. I'd kind of like you to send me a copy of that. That's pretty funny.
You want a copy of this one or the
Yeah.
when I'm gonna change it? Or both?
I don't know what you're going to change it to.
It's gonna read, instead of "when the family car decal is too real."
Oh no,
It's gonna
no, I
read.
want it this way.
Okay.
I think people would be offended if I sent it to them the other way.
I mean,
to be fair,
depending on
this
who
one's
you send
pretty
it to, it might
offensive
be
too.
offensive now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but it's some real shit though. I mean, listen.
Frustrated atheist says, "Joke's on you, they're all white guys." You're right, they are. They are literally all white silhouettes. But I mean, it could be just about any race other than Asian, I think. Only she's got messed up eyes. When mom's a model, but dad chucking. Mom's going, yeah, if not for the eyes.
mean, okay, wow.
Yeah, that's a good solid 3-bagger.
The boobs are nice,
She
but
got a great body. Yeah, it's just the head that's messed up. So put 3 bags over her head and you'll be good to go.
the black guys are always slipping on wet floors. God damn.
My God.
I'm
I
not
like to
sure what
point
that
out the
means.
frustrated is white, so he can't make those jokes. Only black people can make those jokes. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Maybe he's like me. We just identify as black.
There you go.
Yeah, you're trans black, right?
That's right.
That's right.
I don't get the joke about slipping on the floor, though.
Yeah, I like.
I mean, the closest I can think of is there was a Family Guy cartoon where it was like they were at the NBA and a guy slipped and like all the women in the front row were pregnant. So unless that's what he means. Man, if I was a professional athlete, I'd definitely be wrapping it up.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know how these dudes do it, bro.
Oh, okay. All the signs show them as black on a yellow background. I get it now.
Yeah, well, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it is. Western society is very interesting right now when it comes to dating. Sir, you have lucked out, sir. You don't have to put up with the shit a single man have to put up with.
I didn't luck out. I busted my ass for years to not have to, like.
Well, I mean, I think he
Struggle.
means that no, you locked out in finding a good woman. I think that's what he means.
Oh.
I was interested to hear how he busted his ass to find her.
Yeah.
He slipped.
Yeah.
It fell on his ass and he found her.
I mean,
All I'm saying is the sooner you understand that the job of a husband is to husband, 90% of women are good women.
maybe. There are a lot of women out there who do not appreciate their husbands and their boyfriend, even though their boyfriend.
That doesn't matter if they appreciate them. If they don't appreciate you, you're not husbanding right.
Yeah.
There's a reason. I'm trying to hint that there's a reason why the word husband and husbandry.
Husbandry.
Yeah, lay on the pipe. We get it.
No, it's not. It's.
The fuck?
Maybe Serb is that dude with the anaconda dick in the boys.
Yeah.
Look, it's just, for example, the way marriage is now currently, right? You just don't get married, because if you don't get married, then all the money you bring and the house you own and pay for, and all the other shit that's yours that you're letting her use,
Hmm.
is now something you're continuously doing for her.
You're right.
When you're married, you're not doing that for her anymore. That's part hers.
Yeah.
So then she gets to ask, well, what have you done for me recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a responsibility that comes with it.
Right? People are a product of their environment. Just put a woman in the right environment.
I don't know, bro. I feel you on that. I think most women would probably adjust, but I think they're. Can I make a slight adjustment to that statement?
I know. It's absolutely perfect in all circumstances.
Because I'm sorry, man. There are the right environment for probably quite a few women is probably the type that makes you want to beat the shit out of them. But then again, you pick them.
Wow.
Why are you picking someone that makes you feel like you want to beat the shit out of them? So it falls back on you at the end of the day.
Well, what I'm saying is, though, if you do all the right things, that type of attitude and behavior that makes you want to beat the shit out of them, in most cases, goes away. Not in every case. That's why I said 90% of women. Right? 1 out of 10 out of there is still looking to hit you over the head with a frying pan or worse.
True.
No, they're looking to hear you when I have it with a rolling pin. Oh wait,
And
no,
on
that's
that-
your mother's.
And on that note,
You gotta go?
no.
Well, you said end on that note. I figured you were saying.
No, you're just not
I'm
looking.
changing his avatars.
Oh. Hang on. Ralph?
What the fuck does the R stand for?
Just take
We
a second.
thought I liked to fuck. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow, sir.
Couldn't help myself. Saw the picture.
You know what? That's good. That's
I guess they need love too.
Yeah, very, very simple meme. It's good.
I did see a video about a couple that have mental issues who
Yeah.
are married and happy together. They got their
Yeah, the
issues
guy
like
was
every other
pretending that
couple.
that
But
woman is tiny. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it works out. I think that's the issue, is like people need to realize that everybody's got problems and we just do the best that we can.
Yep.
you know, I always thought it was Cerberus Rex. It just hit me that it says
You
Hex.
know, honestly, dude, Dean, I used to make the same fucking mistake all the time. Sometimes I still do. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. Cerberus Hex. Or Rex. Yeah, it's.
I just miss the days when Cerb used to pretend he's Satan.
Oh,
Yeah,
god damn, yes.
What you said, Cerb?
That was a long time ago at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Hell, that might have been over 10 years ago.
G Plus has been around. The G Plus community has been around for a while. for better or for worse. Why are... Hey, Midnight, question.
Yes.
That little picture up in the corner, why is it that the albino dude has demon horns and the other dude looks normal but has no horns?
I have no idea. I'm using Sammy's StreamYard account, right? You know,
Oh,
because I could have more than 6 people in, but you know, now I only have 4, so I guess I could have just done it on mine, but I decided to use this one. So I don't know. That's what I'm just
I'm just
using.
asking. Okay. I was just curious. No! What the Why did it close? Oh, I never pay attention to the chat anyway, so it doesn't matter. So what you been up to, sir? Any devious activities?
No, I have more projects than I can handle.
So you've been very busy. Well, I guess it's good to stay busy.
Yeah.
Parasitic birds.
I mean, I sit down, get online, and if I'm not doing something while sitting in a room that's like productive, well, I guess making memes is still productive in a sense. I'm making memes if I'm not doing anything else.
Okay.
I'm just
For some reason, I have been watching these videos where these, I guess, plumbers or drainage dudes go around and unclog these insane drains. And there was one job they had, and all that they saw was just wipes. Wipes and someone's underpants that clogged up the drain. And I was like, bro, that is insane.
Oh, I do have an update though. The pink-haired girl from last semester came back for another one of my classes and no longer has pink hair.
Interesting.
Did she convert?
I don't
Or
know. I haven't asked her yet.
unconvert? Or
If she did, it couldn't entirely have been me. But she was
Did you
definitely
troll
less
her?
radical in the last semester.
Sir, did you troll her or something?
No, not really. I mean, aside from just teaching the class regular, right? The only interaction I had with her outside of that was last semester when the semester started, she asked on like orientation day, like when you go over your syllabus and everything, if we would be covering Marx in the class. And I said no, that would be the wrong class for that because Marx was a philosopher doing bad sociology, acting like it was economics.
Right.
I got a nice look out of her face, but that was it.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was just a philosopher. He wasn't like an economist or anything like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of, realistically, just from my base understanding, seems like he was just trying to talk about an ideal society.
Well, actually, mainly what he did is just shit on people. I mean, his criticisms is basically he didn't generate anything good in and of itself.
Well, the
You know,
purpose
he
of
shit
it
on
isn't to
people
generate
while
anything good, so I wouldn't necessarily. I would understand why he wouldn't.
he shit on people while mooching off his best friend and doing nothing with
Yeah,
his life.
That's right.
Jesus
And,
Christ.
and getting his maid pregnant and then firing her.
Exactly. And if I remember correctly, his kids actually died from being poor because of his neglect, and he blamed capitalism for it. No correction to that.
No correction.
Yeah, he did not have a good understanding of where people were coming from previously in the past, and he didn't have a good understanding of how the world was actually changing at the time.
Hey, Hillary, could you let whoever in?
I can't.
Okay, hold
I
on.
can't.
Yep, one sec. Da-da-da.
This isn't mine, but it's too good not to take.
Hello, frustrated. Okay, let's see this. The last thing you. Wow. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Okay, again, hello, frustrated.
maybe his mic isn't working, or you were gonna get porn bombed.
Nope, it's frustrated, at least I hope.
Oh boy. So I will say though that thus far the whole like the whole coverage, I think okay, I think one of the main reasons people are excited for presidential elections is because they find it to be entertaining and they only vote because they want to participate in the entertainment.
Hmm. Good music
Uh,
choice.
huh?
At least it's not porn bombing.
We hear your music, but we don't hear you.
Frustrated, hello. Okay, well, that's muted. But you were saying, Odin?
Yeah, I think people are just fucking bored and they want entertainment and they only take an interest in elections because of the entertainment aspect of it.
They
Average
hunger for
people give a
blood.
shit.
They hunger for blood.
Oh, and Serb,
Mhm.
I don't know if you remember our conversation about the financing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
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 So I have come up with a plan and I would like to share it with you a little bit later, if you're available. Off
Okay.
offline.
Okay.
Let's see here.
I mean, it could kind of end it like it is. We have been going on for like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
We ain't no 1 minute men. We can go forever.
uh.
What you talking about?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I hear
Yes.
you now.
Awesome. Sorry, I was having technical difficulties.
It happens.
So you're about to get off the air?
No, he's about to get
Well,
off.
maybe not, but probably not for at least a while. But I don't know.
Well,
Welcome to the club.
I mean, we all have to, release sometimes,
Yep. We're at midnight.
Yes, giggity.
Hey, midnight. Say vinegar.
Vinegar.
Now remove the vin.
No.
He caught it.
I got on because we were talking about Marx.
Oh.
Yeah. Share your thoughts, man. Some of us thinks he's a cunt. Some of us thinks he's a guy who wrote about, his gripes with society at the time.
Well,
Based on
let's face
his
it.
education.
Yeah.
And, some people think he's a hero.
Well, let's face it. I mean,
Sir loves him.
much like most historical figures, they were all cunts. I mean, let's face that. Let's not get that twisted. Just about every historical figure I've ever read about, whenever you actually read about them, it's like, oh, you were a cunt. Okay, I got you. I don't think he's a hero, and by all means, like it was already pointed out, he definitely wasn't an economist. And I did agree with one part where it's like his idea, his whole entire communism thing was supposed to be like, this is how it should, like this is what should happen due to capitalism. Capitalism does bad, which we can all agree capitalism does do some bad stuff. That people will revolt, and in that well, no, his ideas were capitalism would lead to revolts, which then leads to socialism, which a natural flow after socialism would be communism, which I I don't know how he would make that work exactly. I don't see how that would just be a natural. I think that he was well, I don't think he's I don't think he was a very intelligent guy, but I don't think he was very dumb either. But his ideas about how what would eventually lead to communism seemed very, very like skewed, and probably like you said, if led to a like perfect like progression as he thought it would. But I don't think he took into account that humans will human, and when humans human, they tend to fuck whatever plans you had.
I mean,
So yeah,
I don't think necessarily that economic systems are like inherently good or evil or anything like that. It's the
no,
people. Like you can have a king
yeah, no,
and
no.
he can have a kingdom and
Hmm.
his kingdom can do well or whatever, right?
Right,
But that's because he's doing things to better the kingdom, right?
of course,
If he is
of course. Yeah, I don't.
not doing that, then and it's the same thing for a capitalistic society, right? They're
Yeah,
probably more, you know, there are more poor countries, and they all use capitalism. Doesn't mean capitalism is bad. Doesn't mean they should get rid of it either. It's just
No, 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 no.
they got to manage it.
Let me clarify. Whenever I say capitalism does bad, I clearly don't mean capitalism in and of itself does bad. Capitalism itself is just a tool, if you will. It's an economic system that we've developed to kind of. I'm not an economist, obviously, so I'm not going to use the right words here. But it's like, hey, I do something, I make something, I get paid for it, and that should be the way that is type of deal, I guess. Um, but like the people within who have implemented capitalism, for instance, have done so in some pretty fucked up ways. But that's the same thing with just about everything. I mean, Lenin went over here and took this the communism and said, "Hey, how can I benefit the most from this?" And he like fucked up a lot of people's lives that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it really comes back down to what the people in power do. Are they going
Hmm.
to do their jobs, or are they going to use their power to get more power
Hmm.
to benefit themselves and whomever they want to benefit at the end of the day, really? All these things are just tools, right? And I think part of the problem with I wouldn't like part of the issue with using economy solely based on Marx's ideas. For one, they weren't really thought out, um,
Right.
especially how you would assign cost and value to things.
Hmm.
Um,
I
and
wish
so
Leo was here, honestly.
He
I,
just screw everything up.
True.
So
But sorry to interrupt you, Josine. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, like, how do you determine whether or not, you know, the costs for certain things? And realistically,
Right.
right? Like you can say, hey, my thing costs $10,000, but if other people don't think so, then you're just not gonna get $10,000 for it. You gotta adjust the pricing based on what willing people are willing to pay, right?
Right.
Um, you know, and so if
Yeah.
people aren't willing to pay any of the prices, then they just don't see your thing as being valuable. And so you should just go back to the drawing board and make up something else or fix the problems associated with your thing, right? Um, but to kind of assign value to something based on simply the work that people put in on something, then if machines made it, should it be free? Right?
Yeah.
Like, does it mean it has no
Yeah. I
value
think
because no humans made it?
I think that if he had, if Marx had actually like really delved into economic study, that he could have really probably came out with a better system that would be communism. But I don't like. I've told someone before. I was like, because someone's like, whenever I wasn't necessarily defending communism, but I was like, hey, you're misrepresenting what communism is. He sat there and tried to tell me, he's like, oh, so you're pulling the whole entire communism hasn't happened. Or true communism hasn't happened type of deal. I'm like, no, it's just that there was a half fleshed out idea on what a economic system could be, and then somebody else sat there and said, hey, I like that, how can I benefit more from it than anybody else, and they implement
Yeah,
like
it's a centralization of power at the end of the day. I mean,
mhm.
like take for example, right? You can look at, you know, the the Russian Constitution, right? And
Mhm.
on its face, it looks like a democratic society and government, but in practice,
Right.
it's really not,
What?
right?
Right.
No, no. On paper,
Right.
it's a republic, and
Yeah.
in practice,
Just like how.
it's a republic. But
Okay.
everyone is mad that it's not a democracy.
Oh, just like how North Korea is definitely a democracy.
Oh
Like it's right
yeah.
there in the Democratic Republic of Korea.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Hello, dear
there's
leaders.
this issue. There's this fundamental problem with human beings, and
Right.
that is there is a subset of us that are highly intelligent, highly motivated, very energetic, and very avarice. And in capitalism, those people tend to go into business because that's where you get to make all the money.
Mm-hmm.
But in a system like socialism or communism, those people go into government, and then that's why you have millions die.
Yeah.
See,
I just
that's the great thing of capitalism. It puts all those avarice people that are actually kind of malignant into a position where most of them are doing things that everyone else wants them to do on some level.
Yeah.
Right?
People want people want them to produce a product, and they can produce a product, right? And they can focus their ability to produce a product so they can get the profits from it, the profit and the power that might come with it, right? So the tendencies are focused on something else that can't really hurt people. We're not saying there aren't products that you know weren't put out there that didn't hurt people,
Yeah.
but like like I think the situation when it comes to cigarettes is a decent example of that. Now that I think about it, where they knew the downsides of cigarettes, and they like didn't really give a shit,
See,
and they denied it.
right? So, like there's a bunch of negative consequences come from making products and all this other stuff. Because there's always negative consequences from this group of people,
Mhm.
right? That the fact that they're malignant and avarice and intelligent and energetic and have a lot of energy. That's just how it's going to be,
Yeah,
right? But the consequences are always going to be less compared to having those people be attracted to centralized positions of power in uh, a political system where the power is highly concentrated.
yeah. If the power is concentrated, I mean, that means most of it is going to be within that particular area, right? So, you're going to want to get to that, to get access to all of that power in the first place.
Yeah. The thing that socialists and communists overlook is when you can't have people owning things, and you certainly can't have people setting their own prices.
Mm,
That means the only other option is centralized control, and that's when all of those people decide to take over the government.
yep.
Can we all agree though that a lot of people on the right just misconstrue what socialism and communism is?
Maybe.
I mean, I think people on both sides of the aisle
Well, of course.
fully understand that, to be honest.
It's always very very like especially with actual uh, communists they tend to think of communism as this like end all be all like the best type of system type of deal where they misconstrued as well. And then there's some leftists who just honestly don't know a lot about it. But like I've always heard, like when someone sits there and has any remote leanings of, hey, we should take care of, the least fortunate of us out here. Someone's like, that's communism. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was correct. That's welfareism, not communism.
I feel called out.
Oh.
I know. Everyone laughs when I say welfareism because no one says the word ever. But if you Google it, that's what it is. I promise you.
No, but we see this is the thing, right? Because when you hear people use the term and say corporate welfare, okay, it's a thing, you'll accept it, but there's an actual section of society that wholly believes in the welfare system. And I mean, listen, the way how I see it is that if you are a society that believes that everyone should at least have an equal playing field to participate, then I think it makes sense to have some form of welfare system to give people the opportunity, right? Who might be less fortunate because not everyone obviously is going to have all the necessary tools right away in order to become successful, right? And obviously there are plenty of people who, didn't have access to education and food and stuff like that, and they had to rough it out. But not everyone is that lucky or have that capacity, and some might do. But guess what? There are people who might prevent them from doing so, right? Or circumstances. So I think the welfare system is good to have, especially if you want to maintain a strong economy. Um, I don't necessarily think. I think it should be set up in a way to mainly focus on allowing people to get to the point to where they won't at least become homeless, right? Because if you're not homeless, um, I think your chances of being better able to participate, I think the chances of being able to participate is significantly higher when you're not homeless.
See, I agree with you. I just think, and this isn't because of the Democrats or like Republicans or something. But I think it's because of the compromising between the two positions to get welfare policies out.
Mm-hmm.
We end up doing it in a rather lazy, half-assed, like ill-planned out way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It would actually be better for society if we stripped all of our welfare and made a new system that's similar for people who are disabled. Right? So people that are disabled are kind of just going to get a paycheck. Okay, that's fine, whatever. But everyone else's welfare is basically job guarantee.
Interesting. But would you say that because if the job is guaranteed, who's going to provide the job type thing, right?
It's government. It's welfare.
Yeah, that was the Soviet system.
Kind of.
Well, force you to work.
The Soviet system was all jobs were the government jobs.
Yeah.
It's a little different from that.
That'd be because that's what I'm saying. Like in a capitalistic society, would the government? Well, the government does have had projects that are both public and private, right? And so I think that's definitely something that could work. Because it's not like it hasn't been done before.
I think that there's there is a lot of issues within the capitalistic society that we have today, and that's mainly shown through the privatization of the prison system and a lot of other aspects within. Or sorry, I'm in the process of trying to close work and talk, but um, we see that within that, and there's other little things like that. I don't think that capitalism, all in and of itself, is horrendous. That we need to throw the entire system away. But I think that we do need to revamp a lot of what we have right now.
So the only issue I have with what you're saying is more on a technical point. Capitalism, compared to where we came from, the systems we came from, capitalism is just two things. It's the ability of everyday people to have property rights similar to that of the lords, and it's third parties not setting prices in transactions. That's it.
Sorry, I was going to be around a bunch of beeping that's still beeping. Why are you beeping?
Because you didn't break
Oh
it.
my gosh. Well, of course, I got to break it so that way I can stop beeping.
Yeah.
Yes. So can you repeat that one more time so that way my brain can fully comprehend what you're saying?
Okay, so I'll say I probably have a better way of saying it actually. Capitalism as defined by economics. If you go look at an economic textbook or economist dictionary, capitalism is a system, an economic system, where there's it's based on essentially two ideas. People having the right to own property as the lords used to own property, and third parties not setting prices for transactions. That's it.
So what do you mean by third parties not setting prices for transactions?
The price for some good or service is set by the person selling it and the person buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And not a third party outside of that.
Okay, so and I'm dumb, so you're gonna have to help. You're gonna have to help me here.
Basically, the government can't come in and set prices.
Yeah, they can.
Okay, the government.
Okay, right. They can tax it.
Right.
But they can't come in and say that's worth this, and you can't charge more or less. Right. Okay. They can say charge whatever you want, but we want 10%. That's fine. You can still have capitalism and taxes.
And of course, there's exceptions with that, right? Like so, for instance, whenever I think it was one of the medicinal companies, they were wanting to be like, oh, this is what we're going to charge for this, and the government was like, yeah, no, you're not doing that. So there's exceptions to that, right?
Kind
or
of.
Is that just
because even then, technically, that's not setting a price. So
that's regulation.
Yeah, there's price gouging laws. We'll just say that price is too high. It must be lower by a certain percentage in some area, right? They never say the amount.
Yeah.
That's how they avoid it being a violation of the system.
Okay. So because they don't say you have to charge this amount, except for whenever it came to COVID, the COVID vaccine, they were like, oh no, that's going to be free. I don't care what you say. But in normal everyday things, they were like,
yeah, it wasn't free. They just offered to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Government determining the price.
Bro, nothing is free.
Okay. Sorry.
That's maybe the one exception when the government can set the price is when they're one of the two parties.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I think I'm tracking. I'm tracking.
So, all these things that we can point at and say, well, capitalism's doing bad. It's not really capitalism that's doing bad. It's that capitalism is actually a very little thing. And the issue we have is we're not very good at regulating ourselves and others and their behavior.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
the
No,
problem.
we're not.
The problem is
That's
a
why. That's why.
political
Like
problem.
that's kind of like whenever I see the movies where they're like, this thing happened in the future, and everyone agreed. It's like, no, no, I call bullshit on that because there's literally very little things that I've ever heard of that everyone was unanimously like, yes, this is what should happen.
Actually, there are quite a few things to wear clothes.
Well, you know what I mean.
Seat belts. Practically every car, not every single car, but most cars have literally the same seatbelt design.
Well, you know what I mean. Come on now.
I mean, if
Not
it's
everybody wanted the seatbelts though.
that's
There
true.
are a lot of people sell that's an extra cost, so that could be an option.
Not only that, there was a
And
lot of
then
people whenever the seatbelt laws came out, they were really, really pushing against it as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of like with like one of the main reasons now, like the U.S. has, um, the roads are filled with SUVs. It's not necessarily because people just wanted more SUVs. It's simply because the government passed a regulation that would have forced car companies to do some R&D, some research and development, right? And make better better and safer vehicles. And they, just like in true American democracy, right? And lawmaking, the car manufacturers say, hey, can you put an exception for light trucks? And they put an exception for light trucks, and most of the resources went into creating and advertising light trucks. And this is why there are more fucking SUVs on the road than cars in the US. And most of them are fucking useless. Like in New York City, you see motherfuckers driving around in these big ass fucking pickup trucks that are the size of two cars,
Mm.
right? But you never see them with anything in the back. It's just crazy to me. They have these massive wheels and all this weird shit, but they're not construction workers. They're not transporting anything in the back. They just get it because it makes them feel cool and powerful and big, right?
Modern codpiece.
Yeah, and
Right.
this is kind of weird, but I miss station wagons. I thought station wagons were cool.
Yes, dude, I'm totally gonna get one.
My mom bugged the hell out of my father when I was young to get a station wagon, and I thought the back seat, the back seat that faced backwards, was awesome.
Yep. Do they still make them like that? That'd be interesting.
I don't even think there's a company making station wagons.
In Europe, they do still make them.
Yeah.
Not in America. So like the the there is I absolutely think that people can manipulate and convince people to do certain things and spend their money on shit that is ultimately not productive to them, if you can sell it to them. It's all about marketing and sales, right? And so, iPhones there's a massive upcharge. There are devices that are way better, that perform way better, right? But Apple charges a fuck ton of money for their devices. And they can do it simply because owning an Apple device for a lot of people is a luxury type thing, right? It's a symbol of wealth. Kind of like with there's this interesting video where someone went over why is it that poor people are typically the ones who are buying up most of the clothing and merch from luxury clothing companies, right? And it's simple. People like to project wealth. And so if you can sell people
Well,
on the idea that that your item is a luxury item, they will absolutely fucking pay double, even though it doesn't do anything better than the thing that, you know, some other company makes.
yeah. I would make one minor adjustment to what you said, though.
Okay.
Poorer and middle class people like to project wealth.
Yes.
Rich people in some environments will project wealth, but generally don't like to project wealth
New
because
money.
that's dangerous.
New money
Yeah.
likes to project wealth. Yeah. Because so here's the thing, right? One of the companies that I do work for, a lot of the guys that run the company, they're millionaires. Some of them are old money. Most of them are old money, right? And here's the interesting thing. They'll wear expensive items, but you'll never know they're expensive items.
Yeah.
They'll wear a nice polo.
The premium black T-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. The $50 plus black T-shirt.
Right? Like they'll wear shit like that, right? But to them, it's more so about the comfort and, you know, all of that stuff, right? But at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about projecting how wealthy they are. They already know they're wealthy. If anything, they don't want to attract the wrong people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Outside of certain environments,
Yeah.
right? When rich people go into an environment where there's no one but rich people around, right? They go to some fancy dinner or something. Then yeah, they dress up. They all look rich. But aside from the waitresses and waiters, none of the poors are in there.
Mhm.
Right. But that's why Mark Zuckerberg looks like a college student.
Yeah. I mean, even in New York, right? Like you are your chances of bumping into a millionaire in New York is higher than anyone else anywhere else on the planet. Because those mother truckers, half of them don't even own cars, probably, right? They take the train like everyone else. They go to the local coffee shop or bar like everyone else. Like they look like normal mother truckers, right? And I don't know, like people who are like new money tend to just flaunt this shit. And at the end of the day, you know, they got to get whatever that's going to come with it, right?
Yeah. This is a complete sidetrack. I just had a thought in my head pop in. Sitting here making memes. Is it automatically rape if you tell a black lady her safe word is ask?
Ooh,
What?
instead of axe.
Axe. God.
Weird systems. I don't know. Hey, fuck you. I'm tired. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Your ass was knocked out this whole time.
Kind of.
Mm,
Mm.
yeah. I don't know, man. I think at the end of the day, a lot of these systems, they're really just tools. And whether or not, you know, the tools work for our societies, it typically comes down to the people and how they use those tools. Right?
Yeah.
Like this is why you can have some developed countries where, their homeless population is almost non-existent, and some have a massive fucking homeless population. Some might have, you know, super high crime rates. Some don't, right? Like it just depends. Like a large percentage of the US economy, you know, it's weapon sales, right? And if you were to get rid of that all of a sudden, just completely ban all of that, right? A lot of businesses will go, a lot of business will go out of business. And you have to find a way to make up for that lost um, economic power that the country has, right? So, things aren't as black and white when it comes to a lot of these things. But at the end of the day, I think part of the problem is when it comes to regulation, some of it is politicized. And I think that's probably why the regulation isn't really working the way how it's supposed to in the US. I don't know. That's just my shitty take on it.
Yeah. Whatever it is, like all the problems you can point out in capitalism can be solved one of two ways. Right? It's fixing the political process. Right? Too politicized, can't get anything done, can't agree on enough, like that sort of thing. Or make middle class and poor people understand that if that rich guy is doing shit you don't like, stop giving him your fucking money.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You bitch about Walmart all day long, and then you go in there and buy a toaster.
But I need Amazon. I need Walmart. I need stores like that. They may be.
Yeah, you don't like the fact that Amazon makes people have to pee in bottles. Stop ordering shit on Amazon.
Yep.
I mean,
See,
it's easy
people
to
don't
say, but
understand.
hard to do.
You vote, like your vote doesn't just come in the form of going to the fucking ballots. It literally, you vote that way and you vote with your wallet, because at the end of the day, the politicians that are up for election, a lot of them are sponsored by the same companies, by the same people who you buy your shit from.
Yep.
Then again, who am I to tell people to actually give a shit about how they spend their money?
Yeah. And on that note, we can still talk off air, but I am gonna take this off. Thank you for joining. This has actually been a very productive stream. Amazing, right? Anyways.
He wants to get off so he can go get off.
Y'all had to go outside and get some bitches. What the fuck are you doing here? If you're here, that means you have no bitches either. So what the fuck are you complaining about? Anyways.
Hey, listen.
Anyways, bye. And